Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Dumpster Diaries Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Justin Allen, and today we have the return of the great, the funny comedian, Matt Ferrell. Dude, thanks for coming in, man.
Bro, thanks for having me.
Yeah, dude.
I know I kind of threw it at you last minute.
Uh-huh.
We were just coming back. We were down in down by Baton Rouge in Hammond, Louisiana.
Yeah.
And I talked to Dakota Price this morning on the phone. I was at the hotel. I was running a joke by him. And he goes, "Hey, you should hit up Justin. He lives in Shreveport now." And I was like, "Really?"
Yeah.
I was like, "All right, well, I'll holler at him." I didn't know that you'd made the move out here.
Yeah, man, it's a small world, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. Like, I mean, I like being in Shreveport because it's got I-20 running right through it.
Yeah.
You know, so you can get a lot of guys from like the East Texas region and like the Dallas area. Obviously, the guys in Shreveport, and you can go a little further out and stuff and get into like Mississippi and all that.
Yeah.
So,
the scene out here is growing.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I liked about it. So I had a choice to move the studio to Austin or to move it to Shreveport.
Yeah.
And both were going to present their own challenges. So Austin is, really built up really well for comedy. It's built up really well for podcasting, but there's a lot of people doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's only 1 million people in that city, but there's thousands of comedians and they're all trying to do podcasting. A lot of them are doing photography as well because I do that as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, maybe. I know a few people out there, maybe. And I do like the city a lot. But then there was Shreveport. And I was like, okay, they got a comedy scene out here. It's not nearly as big, but it's growing up. And I was like, it would be cool to get on something from the ground floor a little bit, in a sense, a ground floor. It's been around for a little bit. But so, yeah, man, that's why we came out here,
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I think it's a good decision. Austin is the mecca right now, but it's just oversaturated.
Yeah.
You're going to go there and be one of 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
You come here and you're one of 100.
Yeah.
Making it happen.
Yeah. So I would say probably out of like actual comedians like in the city, maybe go 30 minutes outside of the city. You're probably looking at a few dozen.
Really?
Maybe like three dozen.
Yeah.
That really do it on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Because I know like the term comedian is kind of like a loose term because it's got a low barrier of entry. It's like you can be a comedian because you did one open mic somewhere at like,
Yep.
a truck stop, or you could be selling out arenas.
It's funny too, introducing yourself as such.
Mm-hmm.
My younger son, when I met his future in-laws for the first time, her dad is a very blue collar guy, oil field welder. Just a very, very blue-collar guy, down to earth, great people.
Yeah.
And he looked at me and he goes, "What do you do for a living?" It's what blue-collar guys ask. So what do you do for a living? I said, "I'm a comedian." And he goes, "Oh." And he turned around and looked the other way. He didn't even know, like, well, what's he supposed to say to that? He was like, okay. Because people don't look at it as, or they look at it as, oh, yeah, I've met 20 that said that they were a comedian.
Sure.
They do an open mic once a month, and that's what they call themselves. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not waiting tables on the side. This is it. This is what I do. So
this has to work.
Yeah, it better work. It better start working better than this. My wife's going to kick me out. I got to get it figured out.
Are you going to start expanding more shows out in Louisiana and stuff, you think? Or?
I've done quite a few out here with Jeff Vance and Lunchbox Comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Great guys, and the shows are always a blast. I enjoy doing it. Of course, the food's always good down here. So I'm always willing to come to Louisiana just to eat.
Yeah, I haven't made it down to Lafayette yet, but apparently Lafayette has like a really good comedy scene.
Yeah, so I met the guy that featured for me last night. His name is Tyler. Louisiana name.
Yeah, I got you. Why does it have an X in it?
Yeah, it literally does. Tyler.
Yeah.
I know if I see it, I'll say it right.
Yeah. Or if I go to a Cajun restaurant.
Arsenault. Tyler Arsenault.
Okay.
Is who I met. He featured for me last night, and yeah.
Dude, that happens every time. Especially like if I have to go to like a Cajun restaurant, I'm like, what is this, man?
So he after the show, I guess he's real plugged in with the Lafayette scene.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, hey man, like during your set, I've already been messaging people telling them they got to reach out to you.
Yeah.
I was like, fucking awesome. So then afterwards, Jeff's like, yeah, that's why I put you two on a show together because he needed to see you.
Just work.
And I was like, appreciate that. So Jeff is a great dude, and he makes those connections.
Mm-hmm.
He sees somebody, and goes, oh, this person's going to work good with that person. I need to find a way to get them on a show together.
Heck yeah.
And makes that happen. So,
dude, I have to come down there, man. Next time I got a show.
Reach out to Jeff Vance with Lunchbox Comedy.
Yeah.
Great dude. Produces a ton of shows down there. Does the Lunchbox Comedy Festival every year.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming up in June, I think.
Yeah.
I knew I couldn't do it I did it last year. I couldn't do it this year because I already had something booked, but
Yeah.
always a good time. He started doing a deal now. They do a Carnival cruise ship. They're not performers for Carnival. Basically, you've been on a cruise?
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
all the bars and stuff.
Yeah.
He just booked shows in a bar. It just happens to be on a cruise ship. Dude, Jeff thinks outside of the box and he figures out a way to make shit happen.
Yeah.
And
That's the first I've ever heard of that.
He's fixing to do his second one. It's a lunchbox comedy on Carnival Cruise Line.
Did you get on it?
I didn't get to do the first one. I'm not going to get to do the second one that he's got coming up either because I already had stuff lined up. But I'd like to go and do it just because.
Yeah.
Like, how great would it be just go on a cruise with a bunch of your comedy buddies?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. That's one thing I say. That's why I tell people, if you just want to have a good time, just start going to open mics.
Yeah.
Just start talking to people. You don't have to perform.
Right.
It's seriously the funniest people you'll ever meet.
And I'm fine with the people that are just open micers. They're just hobbyists.
Yeah.
Like they're doing it. It's something to do.
Yeah,
It gets them out of the
that's
house.
what I do.
It's a dare by one of their friends. Oh, I dare you to sign up and go do it. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is the guys that do that and then get mad because somebody didn't book them. Like, well, yeah, but you didn't do anything. Like, come on, man. Like, be realistic about it anyway.
Yeah.
If you're a hobbyist, that's fine. Just know that you're a hobbyist.
I think the easiest way to tell, if you're a comedian really trying to pursue it is if you go to apply for something, what's one thing that they always ask? Submit some video.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And if you ain't got a video for it.
You got nothing for them. They're like, oh, I'm supposed to be recording this shit? Yeah. Yeah. And that's the problem is that somebody told me one time, they said, well, comedians are not going to have good work ethic. They want to work 1 hour a day. Ultimately, a comedian wants to work 1 hour a day. I want to be a headliner. I show up, I talk for 1 hour, and I go back to the hotel.
Mhm.
It's not like we're the breed of people that's great work ethic. But in the beginning, if you want to reach any level of success, it's a grind and a hustle 24 hours a day, which is why
you put in the time.
I'm over 10 years in. I don't know exactly how long, but I'm over 10 years in. And the first several years where my kids were still very active in sports, they were still in school. They needed dad to be around.
Yeah.
And then they grew up. They don't need me as much. Probably don't want me as much. I don't know. But then it got to, I was like, oh, okay, now I can start focusing on my stuff. So then I started trying to pick it back up and do it more regular. But I owned a garage door business, and I was like, I'm 100% guy.
Yeah.
Whatever I'm doing it 100%. So I didn't have the mental capability of going, all right, I'm going to give 90% of it to my actual job that pays the bills, and I'm going to give 10% over here and just try to slowly pick that up. I didn't have that. So my wife and I sit down and had a conversation one day, and I was like, I think if I'm going to do it, I have to do it 100% all the way. And she's like, let's do it. So, I've always, my wife's a complete rock star. I give her credit for everything I've ever done right in my life.
Because I've talked to some guys where their significant others do not support them.
Yeah.
They're like, just go to work. And
right.
Like, this is my work.
And those guys are either going to wind up divorced or very unhappy in their relationship. There's no in between. But if you've got a spouse or a partner that's 100% behind you,
it makes a big difference.
It does. Because if you got somebody that's constantly over here nagging at you, like, I need you to do this, you got to do that, I need you to go get a real job, or it just knocks your confidence down.
Yeah, that's
my wife will tell me if I say something she don't think it's funny. She's a harsh critic, but she also encourages me and tells me to keep going. So
sure. Yeah.
So it's been great. I couldn't ask for somebody better.
Because the problem that I have personally is I'll write stuff that I think is funny and then I'll go perform it.
Yeah.
And it isn't funny, man. I'll be like, oh, that was too dark, or oh, that was not the right angle, right crowd, or whatever. Man.
Well, and I think
because I just read over a batch of jokes I wrote probably 2 months ago. And I was like, who wrote this piece of shit?
Dude, I've had a bunch of them that I've wrote, and later on I go back and look at it. I'm like, the fuck was I even talking about? It made sense in a time.
Because I've been doing, I kind of don't want to give away my secrets, but so since the first year I've been taking comedy serious, right? Like I'm not trying to make a career out of it, but I do it as a hobby. Like I just enjoy it, right? My career.
But you still want to get better.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And what I like doing is media, like film, photography. I like that stuff, right? But stand-up is fun, so I started doing at the beginning of the year, I started doing one-liners on index cards that I write. And those, I would just go through them, say like 50 of them for like a 5-minute set, whatever, you go over a little bit. But, and then I would just take the ones that were good And then I would go later and try to write an essay of a story. And I would take those one-liners that are related around that story, which I
Okay.
know already work, and then I plug them into that essay.
Yeah.
So I know the punchlines already worked.
Right.
So now I just got to tell the story behind it. And that's how I've been doing it. And since I've been doing that, and the trick, quit drinking, gotten a lot better,
Dude,
man.
big difference.
Yeah.
It is a big difference. So that writing style, I've never heard anybody of that writing style, but it makes sense. It makes sense. And if it's working for you, then keep going with it.
One-liners are really hard. And like when I first came here, like some comedians were kind of like, what do you, like, that's weird, you know?
Yeah.
And a couple of people I ran into were like, you probably shouldn't do that, you know?
Well, fuck those people.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was like, well, yeah, there's no cookie cutter way of doing this shit, you know?
Yeah.
And
I can't stand people to tell other comics how to, you shouldn't write like that.
Yeah, my big thing is as long as the people in the crowd are laughing.
Yeah.
Now, if I go up there and I don't get a single laugh, then you can come talk to me afterwards and tell me what's
the idea of you're not doing it the way I do it, so it must be wrong. I mean, that's the very Christian way of looking at things, I guess. But
so I kind of like nod and be nice, like, oh, okay, yeah. In my head, I'm like, yeah, fuck off.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. So I write everything long form. You know, so all my stuff is stories.
Yep.
But the stories will have bigger punchlines in them, and you know, so I punched it up. But I write everything out all the way. I write word for word exactly how I want to say it on stage. And then I'll go back and rewrite it.
It's very time consuming.
It is. And every time I do it, I'll try to remember, I said this kind of off the cuff, and it seemed to have a pretty good punch to it. So let me add that and then make it part of the regular how I tell the story.
Yeah.
And then when I get ready to build a set, I just have earmarks for those. You know, I have an accidental funeral. Yeah. There's a whole story that goes with that, but accidental funeral, I know what it means. So then I just write the headline on index cards individually, and I go, okay, now, and this it might be a real term for it. I don't know. I call it joke mapping. I take whatever historically, the way you're supposed to write a set is your second best joke is your first joke, and your best joke is your last joke. That's not, if you're wanting to film a special for TV, that's not the way you do it. You need to front load it, and so that way, it doesn't matter. But if you're just doing it for touring and doing clubs and shit, second best joke, first and last. So I put those there, and I go, okay, now I got all these other jokes. How do I draw a map from that one to this one, and it makes sense with these other jokes?
Yeah.
So I start off with this, and it's talking about my wife talking shit about me and me making dumb mistakes. Well, my dumb mistakes come from drinking, so then I go into all my drinking stories. My drinking stories, I got sober. Then I'll go into my sober stories and how I'm still dumb. I'm just sober when I'm dumb now. And part of the reason I got sober is because of my kids, and I go into my kids' story, and it all just runs together from beginning to
finish. It becomes like a real spider web really quick.
Yeah.
And then one thing that I've seen, you know, which I do like typically somewhere around 5 to 10 minutes at a time, right? One thing I've seen is like if you engage with the crowd, sometimes that can derail the direction of what you're going to. And the real art, the real craft is how do I get back to what I was talking about? Yeah. You know, without it seeming extremely choppy or like, oh, like we just shifted gears and sucks the air out of the room, you know?
Yeah. Sometimes I won't even call it a heckler, a participant. Somebody decides they want to participate in your set, and they'll start talking to you, or they'll over agree with you. Somebody, I think that Tyler Arsenault last night, he goes, you know, or you got somebody that's just like, yeah, like they're really agreeing with you. Like, wait, you're not going to agree with the end of it. I need you to hold on. You know, it's like kind of sets you back.
About to take a
turn.
Yeah,
you got to find a way when you're dealing with the crowd of either raise your volume and talk over the top of them so they understand, hey, this is not a conversation. Yeah. This is not between you and I. I'm not that comic. So I'm just going to ignore you, raise my volume and keep moving, or engage, shut it down, and get back to where you were without it seeming like they just fucked everything up. Yeah. Yeah, it's and there's no way to practice that besides doing it.
I know you've seen, I've been seeing this a little bit. I know you've definitely seen this over your decade of doing it. You ever ran into like people in the audience that just seemed like they came to a comedy show to not laugh? Yeah. What are you doing here, man? Like, did you get dragged here by your friends? Like,
and a lot of times I will address it.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'll just go, hey, like, did they make you come? Because you don't look like you're having a good time. And most of the time, it's the people, like, matter of fact, last night, the bartender at the show, she's talking to me after, and she goes, I always feel bad at comedy shows because I'm not an out loud laugher. So I'm always afraid if the comic looks at me, they're going to think I'm just a bitch and just not laughing at their stuff. Or they're going to think that I don't think they're funny. And that's not it. I think it's funny, but I keep everything inside. And I say, yeah, there's you deal with people in the audience like that all the time.
Yeah.
Don't look at them.
Just skip
Either
over
either
it.
engage or don't look at. But a lot of times I will, within the first 5 minutes on stage, I've found the person that I'm aiming at.
Yeah.
And then my goal is like all my jokes are gonna be like my punchlines are gonna end with eye contact and that person until I get them to break. Once I get them to break, I'm like, all right, cool. I've done my job. Now I'll just do my set the way I do it. But I'll find somebody and I'm like, okay, this is my target.
Yeah.
And I don't like point them out or anything. It's just for me. It's not even a conversation I have with anybody.
Yeah.
It's just for me, but I want to know that I can get that person to turn around.
Yeah.
That's my personal challenge that I give myself.
I had an interesting show last night, man. I intentionally went first, and it was good, but we had a little bit of a smaller crowd. But there was a table of probably like 5. Yeah, I think it was like 5 college kids. I had a good time riffing and roaring with them. I was like, all right. I kind of like at first they were kind of thrown off. I was messing with them, and then I found the one girl that was laughing the hardest, and then I just went in on her, and then I got her friends all in it. You know?
Yeah.
And then it was cool because then I started doing callbacks to stuff that I referenced with her. And then the other comedians that would come on later were doing the same thing too. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, you just became like a whole part of this.
Yeah,
you didn't even realize it.
We had a lady sitting in the very front last night, and she was an out loud laugher at everything. You could have, I told her, I said, I could have made fart noises with my hand all night, and she would have rolled on the floor laughing.
I love
so
people.
She's not a good gauge as to whether or not I'm doing well, because I could tell a horrible joke and she still would have laughed.
Yeah.
But you definitely want those in your audience, you know, because even if you know that it's bullshit, she's still laughing.
I'll tell you this, Matt, since, you know, I've been doing stand-up comedy off and on like over the years. Like I basically get on stage and then like won't even touch it for like a year. Right?
Yeah.
And it'd be like open mics and stuff. So the beginning, all last year I was doing it on at least once a month basis, and I was bombing. It was horrible. I wasn't writing. I wasn't prepared. I was drinking a lot. And then the beginning of the year, I quit drinking. I was like, okay, now I'm going to take it serious. And so I started writing stuff and having fun with it and everything. But Jesus Christ, man, I just had a brain fart with that one. I was going to make a whole point and ask you a question.
Yeah.
Damn, I can't even remember what I was going to say.
I don't know. It started off with, you know,
told you I took a nap before you came over.
Slowing down on drinking so that you could, or stopping drinking so that you could get back on track with things.
With that. I'll think of it here in a second. But
so my drinking. The thing I encourage you think of it.
I think I got it.
All right, go ahead. I don't want you to fucking lose it again.
No, it's not there. Yeah,
okay. It's only half baked. But I tell people all the time. I'm like, hey, like I'm not like I don't drink anymore. I mean, I'll have a couple beers after a show or something, but I don't drink on stage at all. And I tell her like, hey, don't drink. And I'm not trying to be that guy that's like, hey, you should quit drinking and clean up your life because I did. That's not it at all.
Sure.
When you're drunk on stage, you don't notice things. You don't realize that, hey, I need to shift gears. This line of jokes is not working. Let me shift into this stuff. Or, hey, this person's pissed off. Maybe I should quit going in on them and try to lighten it up. Because, like, yeah, you want to be a man when you're on stage, and if somebody's giving you shit, you want to give them shit back. That's not your job.
Yeah.
Your job is to make everybody in that room have a good time. So, hey, this guy, I can tell he's getting pissed off on my jokes. Let me shift gears, see if I can lighten it up and bring him back on board. But when you're drunk, you don't see that.
No, not at all.
So you don't realize it. So you'll just do a whole set that's not going well because you don't recognize that you need to do something different. So that's why I'm like, hey, take a beer on stage with you. Take a drink on stage with you, whatever. Just don't start drinking before you go on stage.
Yeah.
Like you need to be clear-headed so that you can pay attention. I used to take a bucket of beer on stage with me, and I'd already been drinking before the show started.
Yeah.
So I was buzzed up by the time the show started, and I did a reason I quit. Like my persona on stage is that I've quit drinking altogether, which I don't. I'll stick around and have beers with the audience afterwards.
Sure.
But
yeah. Like casual, light.
Yeah, but it was because I would tell these drinking stories on stage, and then people were like, oh, he's a partier. Let me send some shots to the stage. Or let me send an Irish car bomb to the stage. Or let me send, they were just sending drinks. And there was one night that I think I had 12 shots. I drank a full bucket of beer while I was on stage. Then they brought me 2 glasses of moonshine, and I drank all of it. I was supposed to do an hour, and I think I did an hour and 30 because I was just drunk and kept going. So, of course, the next day I wake up, I remember nothing. I asked my wife, I'm like, how'd the show go last night? Which is how a lot of my shows went. I had to ask her how it was because I don't remember. And she goes, I'll be honest with you, it went great. Everybody loved it and had a good time. But if you recorded it and watched it back, you'd be disappointed in yourself. I was like, point taken.
Oh yeah,
Point taken.
that'll
And
cut.
I
That'll
don't
cut
drink
deep.
no more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because even if I do a set that I would consider at my level to be good and it's recorded, I will go back and I will find every problem with that.
Yeah.
You know, even
It's
though I know
necessary
it,
to be your own toughest critic.
yeah, even though I know it went well, you can hear
Yeah.
the audience laughing. There's engagement. It's cool. There's no dead air like me going,
Yeah.
"Oh crap, I had a brain fart or something. Forgot what I was doing."
Yeah.
But I'll go back and be like, "Why am I moving my hands that way? Or I'm pacing too much, or I'm
Dude,
going too fast." Or
I
I'm
got
not
this thing I
going
keep
slowly.
putting my hand behind my back.
Yeah.
And I catch myself doing it. It pisses me off. So I get my hand back out. And
Yeah.
then 2 jokes later, I got my hand behind my back again. I'm like, why are you doing
It's
it?
a
Stop
nervous
doing
tick.
that.
Yeah.
And here's what really bothers me.
Mhm.
My buddy Andrew Patterson, he owns Comedy Avenue in Lawton.
Mhm.
He touches his face a lot. He used to. He's gotten under control now. But it was a running deal between he and I. He'd come off stage. He'd go, how many times I touched my face?
Yeah.
I was like, fucking 19 times in a 5-minute set. He was constantly just rubbing. He would always be, I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's just
I don't mind
nervous
seeing
tick.
people with nervous ticks. I'm going to pick on them about it. I've got
Sure.
them too. What bothers me is when people pick up famous people's nervous ticks and they start copying them.
like mimicking them.
Yeah. So Shane Gillis has got the thing where he
Microphone,
brings
yeah.
the hands together like this. You can't count the number of comics that do that now because it's not a nervous tick. They're just copying what this other comic does.
It's funny that you should mention that. I do have a story about that. But I'll tell you my one tick that I did notice because, you know, I'll do
Basically fucking drool them. That's going to hope the camera comes.
So I'll do the normal narrative long form stuff now. I'm really
Mhm.
kind of starting to dabble in, but you know, like I told you before, like do one-liners a lot. And so if I'm at the microphone like I am here, I'll basically wrap my arms around the mic stand and read like that. So the cards are out in front of me because
Yeah.
the mic's kind of in the way, right? And then, you know, I'll be doing this, and a lot of it is just me reading. It's shock value. It's quick,
Yeah.
right? Before they're done laughing, I'm basically already started on the second one, right?
Yeah.
And then it's a lot of eye contact and facial expressions is what I get out of it. Like I basically give them the look of who the fuck wrote this, you know, and
Right,
I'm reading
yeah.
it for the first time. But one thing I noticed is I've gotten a lot better at it, but I would start swinging my hips a little bit, like balancing between left foot and right foot.
Yeah.
And then I caught it on camera and I was looking, I was like, what the hell? And then I noticed myself doing it again. And I was like, oh, you're literally like coddling yourself as a comfort move.
Yeah.
That's what you're like a baby.
Yeah.
Like it's literally what you're doing. You're so
Yeah.
uncomfortable right now that you're just trying to find comfort in it.
One of the most common ones is people coiling the mic cord.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And by the end of the set, they've got 20 foot of mic cord in their hand. I'm like, fuck, put the cord down. What are you doing?
Mhm.
Stop it. Like
I can't remember.
that's a big one.
There was one comedian. Dang, I wish I could remember the name off the top of my head. He said he was a professional, but he said he would get really nervous, but he would put one hand behind his back and he would have his fingers just fidgeting.
Yeah.
Like fidgeting. But he was like, you know, on the surface, I looked calm, but he's like, but behind there, I'm like freaking out. And that was like how he got around
Yeah.
dealing with that or whatever.
And then you got the I can't think, was it Wilkerson?
That sounds
You know what I'm talking
familiar.
about? He's a comedian. He's got severe autism and
Yes.
ADHD or whatever, and he
Yes.
fucking does this shit while he's on stage. And I don't know if it's real, but I do think that it's made a lot of people who have tics comfortable.
Sure.
So now you see more people on stage that
Yeah.
are doing weird. There's a guy that's got a dry, I think it's a dry bar special,
Mhm.
and he's
Yeah.
he's an older guy, and he keeps like he goes, I don't know, this is what my wife said, you know, it's me and my wife, man. Hey, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Put your hand, like I mean, he's funny as shit though, so
Sure.
keep it up.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I'm not going to tell him not to do it.
Who
I'm
would
just
judge?
like, what's happening right now?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it's just because there's more of them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I got to talk shit on Kill Tony a little bit.
Sure. Yeah.
It's created.
Say what's in your chest, Matt. I know where you're going. Say the word.
Not everybody has to have a handicap. Not everybody that now nothing.
I know exactly
Nothing wrong with them. If they're doing it and they're doing a good job, good for them. But just because they have a handicap doesn't qualify them as a comedian.
And what word would you call those people, Matt?
I mean, I would go with something soft, like retarded, you know. And look, In the old days, that's just what we called them.
Because of Kill Tony, everyone's got to be retarded to make it in comedy now.
Yeah, but in the beginning of Kill Tony, it was like you had to be Asian.
Yeah.
You had to, what was
Kim Hans.
Yeah.
Yeah, he brought on Kim Hans after the Dang Pang scandal and all that stuff. It wasn't really a scandal, it was Dang Pang just tried to set him up. If you actually go and watch it, it's pretty crazy.
And look, man, more power to them. The guys that are getting the breaks, go make your money. I'm not hating on you for making money.
Sure.
I do hate the fact that you're making it hard for people that are actually working.
Yeah.
You know, because somebody's got and I met one that's an exception to the rule, Layla Ingalls. She popped from Kill Tony. She's legit.
Yeah.
She's a very funny comedian. She's taking it very seriously. And she realizes that she's getting the bookings because of the Kill Tony spot. And she's like, I wish I was getting them just because it's me and not because of Kill Tony. She goes, but I know that that's where it came from. I'm grateful for that.
I mean, everybody's got to start somewhere.
Yeah. But
are
she's
you kind of talking about like DEI, like in the comedy scene and stuff, like where it's just like, hey, we have to have a number of women or we have to have a number of minorities? Or whatever it may be, or it's a better selling point.
Man, I hate to put it that way, but
because it sounds
kinda.
Horrible.
I did a club, and I won't say the club name because I am currently trying to smooth things back over with them because somebody else spoke on my behalf, and it really broke it off in my ass. But that club owner, I'd gone and opened for somebody else, and that club owner after was like, hey, you did a great job. I'd love to get you back out here. And I was like, cool. Yeah. And he had posters of upcoming shows on the wall. And I was like, hey, I know that guy. I'm not talking trash on him. He's a good guy. He's a good comedian. I'll sell more tickets than him. The audience will be happier after my show.
Yeah.
I'm not putting him down. I'm just saying I'm confident that I will do better than him.
For sure.
And he goes, great. I have to wait before I book you, though, because that comic happened to not be white. He goes, and if I book too many white male comedians in a row, the audience will start blowing up our social media.
Yeah.
Like, you only book white male comics. You only book white male comics. He goes, I can't book them based on who's the funniest. I have to pay attention to. I need to every once in a while I have to book a black comic or a Latino comic or a woman comic. Like we have to break it up like that because people are just watching, looking for something to be mad about.
It's kind of shitty because that's just a product of like our social trends here lately, because the way I see it is it should just be based on merit. And it's a very simple question. Is it funny? Yes or no?
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
And if it is funny, is it on the level and the caliber at the venue you're performing at?
Right.
You know, you can be funny at like a little dive bar, like an open mic or something like that, and people know you coming in regularly. You can kill 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. That's cool.
Yeah.
You know, it's a different type of laughing. But if you're like in a theater or an arena or something like that, and there's 1,000 people or however many people watching you, that is a different caliber and a different style of funny.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And not everyone.
And it's these guys that are getting the pop from like Kill Tony. They go on Kill Tony, they kill for a minute. That's great. It's cool. I'm not taking it away from you. I don't know that I could kill for a minute.
Yeah.
I don't write for a minute.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't write 1 minute jokes. But just because you kill for 1 minute and now this club over here booked you to headline, you've got to be honest with yourself and go, I don't have headliner time.
Yeah.
I might be headliner funny for a minute. I'm not headliner funny for 30, 45, or an hour.
I think that's why a lot of those guys that kind of get like seen or become like things pretty early on.
Yeah.
And they don't get like a golden ticket become, you know, like a where they can come on the show anytime or a regular spot. I think that's why you don't really ever hear about them too much. It's because, yeah, it's funny for a minute, or I might have like a type 5 or something like that.
Yeah.
But then you go out into the rest of the world where you're just fighting with everyone else. It's like, can you do 45 minutes?
Right.
At that level that people already know you at.
Yeah.
Can you kill like that you take that 1 minute and turn it into an hour-long set, basically?
And
that's a hard thing to do.
It's
man.
the same problem with people who blow up on social media.
Oh yeah,
just because you blow up on social media and you're funny at doing these skits that you're editing, on TikTok or whatever, that doesn't translate to the stage. But the club sees that you have over 1 million followers. They're going to book you because they know you're going to sell tickets, and then you're going to bomb for 45 minutes, and then those people are not coming back to that club. So I don't understand why clubs seem to have gotten so short-sighted also. They're like, hey, because the clubs don't care if you're funny. Butts in seats.
Yeah.
That's all they're about. They're not making money on ticket sales. They're making money on drinks. They're making money on that 2-item minimum.
Yeah.
And that's what clubs care about. And every club owner will tell you that. We care about butts in seats. Can you put butts in seats? We'll book you.
Mm-hmm.
That's great, except that now all those audience members that just came to watch that show, they're not coming back because they just paid to come and watch a show and it wasn't good.
Yeah.
So I get bummed out about that. You know, when Hawk Tua blew up and started booking comedy clubs, I'm like,
how did that?
She talked for 30 seconds about sucking dick on somebody's fucking sidewalk interview, and now you're booking her to headline a club?
Yeah. This is insane.
Yeah. That stuff bothers me.
Yeah.
But it's the way, I mean, if you call a club now, first thing they ask is, what's your Instagram handle so we can see how many followers you have? That's the question.
Dude.
And it sucks.
You know?
It sucks because Instagram is my weakest, but that's the one that they're gauging off of.
Shit, you telling me, brother? I mean, like I said, I'm not chasing it comedy as a career by any means, just a hobby, but I did make a Instagram for my comedy.
Yeah.
Just Now in Comedy.
There you go.
There you go. All one word, all lowercase. Anyway, and man, the problem that I found with that, okay, so I made it about a month ago and I put everything on there. And dude, it's I mean, it's like chasing a dragon with that stuff, you know what I mean? Like, but I don't like it too much, but I did put it up there to protect myself. And I won't say who and I won't say where, but early on in the comedy game, this is not a very uncommon thing. You will catch people stealing jokes.
Yeah.
And I caught a couple of my one-liners.
Yeah.
At first, I thought it was a coincidence, and then I kept listening, and then I was like, nope.
Oh, yeah. You told me about this.
And
I know.
I
know who and where.
I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
So I just started putting it on Instagram, just making clips, just to put it out there, just to be like, at least there's a timestamp on it that shows that I put it out at that time.
So I had a joke that, and I was doing the joke for a long time. I don't think that this was joke theft at all. I think that the premise was fairly easy. It was kind of crazy how similar they were.
Yeah.
But even then, I don't think, I know I didn't steal it. Mm-hmm. I don't think Andrew Schultz stole a joke from me.
Yeah.
But
there are weird coincidences that happen.
My son called me one day and he said, hey, you know Andrew Schultz? I didn't even know who Andrew Schultz was at the time. He said, you know, Andrew Schultz has got a... And this was, because it was a while back. It was before Andrew Schultz was as big as he is now.
Yeah.
He goes, you know, Andrew Schultz got a joke just like yours. And I was like, what joke? And he told me, and I was like, damn. So then he sent it to me, and now I see that the joke is very similar, and I see how big his following is. And I'm like, well, it's his joke.
Yeah.
But he won out on that, because if I keep doing that joke, people are going to think I took it from him because he's the bigger comic.
And that's what makes stand-up comedy so hard, ladies and gentlemen.
Dude, it is tough. But so... I want to have, which is why most of the stuff that I write is just about my life. Mm-hmm. Nobody can copy that.
Yeah,
it's
for sure
my life.
Mm-hmm. I can make jokes about the president, but everybody can talk about that.
Yeah.
But not everyone can talk about Justin Allen.
Right. It's idiotic decisions that I made. But I want to have the Jay Leno mentality of it. Somebody goes to Jay Leno and they're like, hey, you know, so-and-so stole your joke. And he goes, did they? He's like, okay. You know, like, aren't you mad about it? He goes, no, I'll just write more jokes. And it's a compliment. Hey, if somebody stole my joke, obviously they thought it was good. I'll just write more jokes. So that's a great mentality to have. But writing at that level, that consistently is hard.
For sure. And that's why, like, when you mention people blowing up on social media, whether it be TikTok or Instagram or whatever, I don't get worried about it. Because if they got one-off lucky, or if it's just basically a one-off thing.
Yeah.
They're not longed for that. Eventually that's because that creativity, that I'm a firm believer, you can make it better, but I'm a firm believer either you got it or you don't.
Yeah.
Like that's just it, you know?
Yeah.
Like I can't drop an engine in a car and fix that. I don't know. My brain doesn't work that way.
Right.
Right. But my best friend can, but he can't write a one-page essay, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I can do all that, you know? And so, but those people who blow up like that seemingly overnight, and it just is very unfortunate that they're flooding comedy clubs, they're not going to be around long. I think in a year or two, the vast majority of them will completely disappear.
Yeah.
But it will be a new crop coming right behind them. And
I do think that comedy, I came into comedy right before the boom.
Yeah.
I've been in it since the boom, but I do think it's starting to. I don't think it's diving, but I do think it's starting to plateau.
Dial back a little bit,
Yeah,
man.
and
Yeah,
I
I
think a
feel it.
lot of it's because. But you're right. A new wave will come.
Mhm.
But right now, the reason it's starting to plateau is because all the comics that are super popular right now. I was just talking to somebody about this. I love Bert Kreischer.
Mhm.
I love Tom Segura. They're two of. I just want to hang out with those guys.
Yeah, Tom Segura is
But
hilarious.
now I was watching one of their most recent episodes of their podcast, and I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, these guys are not relatable anymore. They're millionaires. They're talking about buying random cars and buying businesses, and
Yeah.
like they've got $1 million in this, and they're flying private. And I'm like, oh, I don't know them.
Yeah.
Like we're not on the same wavelength anymore. So now they're not relatable to people anymore. That's the biggest compliment I get after every show is, dude, everything you said was relatable.
Mhm.
Everything you said was something I've dealt with in my life. And
Yeah.
I'm like, that's why I write it.
It's
'Cause
always
it's
good.
relatable. But then when you've got these guys that are like, they're joking about their multi-million-dollar family vacation they went on, everybody in the audience is like, yeah, we'll never experience that.
Yeah, I
Like,
have
what are you
no
like?
idea
What are
what
you
that's gonna
talking
be
about?
like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the other day I had to buy new parts for my McLaren.
Yeah.
Nobody in your audience has had that problem. You know what I mean? Like it's not something that we can relate to. So
Yeah.
but I think that that's why it's starting to plateau. All the comics that are the most popular in the world right now have
Mhm.
gotten to the point where they're not relatable anymore.
Yeah, they're
So now
like
the
buying
next
like
group is
Bugattis
coming.
and shit,
Yeah.
you know. So
So now Mark Norman
Mhm.
he's the new wave.
Yeah.
He's the wave that's coming behind him because he's making great money. He's killing
Mhm.
it. But he looks like he's going to high school.
Yeah.
The way he dresses himself, he's wearing dad shoes and dad
It
jeans.
took me a little bit to get on the Mark Norman train.
Yeah.
It did. Because when I first saw him, I was like, "Man, this guy's something about this guy is awkward." You
Yo,
know?
he's very awkward. That's a high functioning autism right
Yeah,
there. That's what that is.
that's what it is. Yeah. And I watched his most recent special that came out on Netflix like a couple weeks ago,
Mhm.
and I was like, "Oh, this guy is like." Once it clicked with me, I was like, "Oh, this guy is hilarious." And
Yeah.
then I realized I'm not comparing, but I'm saying there's a little bit of a well, kind of. All right, whatever. You get my point. Definitely not on his level, but he does a lot of one-liners in his stuff.
Yeah.
Like they're weaved in there, but you
Yeah.
can tell like it'll just be like some one-off-handed thing that he just says or whatever, and
Yeah.
it's like this weird awkwardness. But then he has a way of like captivating control, like catching lightning in a bottle.
For
you
sure.
know? So
Yeah.
it's
And
really cool.
I think, I mean, credit to those guys
Mhm.
like Bert more so than Tom. I'm sure Tom did it for some, but Bert put a lot of those guys on.
Yeah.
When he was doing his, Permission to Party tour and Tops
Mhm.
Off tour, like he would have these shows that had 10 other comics on it.
Yeah.
He was giving them a spotlight. So, I mean, great for him. He created these guys that are coming up
Mhm.
behind. He's giving them that opportunity. So I appreciate that he did
Yeah.
for them. And I don't wish him no bad. I hope he continues to succeed. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, I think that's why
It would
he
be.
has kind of just started leveling off and it's like, oh, okay, yeah.
I get like wanting to make your own personal, fortune, wanting to, build up your
sure.
estate. But
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool with some of these guys if they did kind of what Rogan did and go pick a major city somewhere and start your own club.
Yeah.
Create
Yeah.
another Austin, make it, I don't know. You could do Miami, you could do Raleigh, North Carolina, you could do Shreveport, Louisiana.
Yeah.
Pick one.
And obviously I'm nowhere close to these guys' level, but
Yeah.
I do on the smaller, much smaller scale, I do try to pick random different people to feature for me. For the longest time, it was Wayne Morris featured for me everywhere I went.
Yeah, I remember Wayne.
Now
yeah.
Wayne's doing his own thing and I'm doing mine, but I always ask people, like I did a show in Altus, Oklahoma a couple weeks ago, and I reached out to a guy named Jackson Herring. He's originally from Altus, but now he lives in Oklahoma City. And I was like, hey man, I'm doing a show in your hometown. You want to go do it? He's like, yeah. He was so stoked to go and do it. Now I got some shows coming up over on the eastern part of Oklahoma, and I reached out to a guy that's over from that side of the state named Scotty Lee. And I'm like, hey, Scotty, I got 2 shows over there. You want to come feature for me on those? Yeah, absolutely. So I'm just trying to now spread it around and like bring different people. Like my shows might have anywhere from 50 to 120 people at them. But for those guys, that's the most they've ever performed in front of.
Yeah.
So it's an opportunity for them to get a little bit bigger stage.
Yeah. Well, when it comes to like the comedians, man, especially if you look in, I say, probably Texas down the middle, basically east of Austin, right? So like all of East Texas, right? And then you get into like the Arklatex region, you include like Oklahoma and that. There's, in the big scheme of things, there's really not a lot of comedians.
Yeah.
If you look for like population density, really not. So while there is a significant amount of like distance between people, an hour here, 3 hours there, 5 hours here, whatever it may be, it's a relatively small network.
Yeah.
And it's kind of cool because while, like I said before, I do comedy as a hobby, but I'll do podcasting and photography and stuff. And I'll do photography for like comedy shows and stuff. And like a lot of those pictures you'll see coming out of here, like I take those. And so I meet all these comedians and then I start getting friend requests from them.
Yeah.
And then the interesting part was the second wave of that happened was people I never met.
Yeah.
Started sending me friend requests and they were other comedians.
Yeah.
So I got people, and then now it's spread out. I got people from like Las Vegas and like Chicago adding me, and I'm like, I don't know these people. Like, I would like to know you, but like
they're contacts.
I've never worked with you. I don't know,
Yeah.
But so it's interesting. So it's, while it is a big network of people, like if you go nationwide for comedy, it really ain't.
Yeah.
I mean, how many comedians do you think there are in the country? What, 15,000? Maybe?
Yeah,
maybe?
Yeah. But we're a different breed of people, which is weird. The longer I'm in comedy, the less I enjoy hanging out with regular people.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I don't know if I say something, if it's going to offend them.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can I see something that's fucked up. I want to crack a joke about it, but I don't know how they're going to take it.
Yeah.
So I'm not and I've always been a social person. I want to be around people. I want to talk, visit, and cut up. But now when I'm around people that are not comics, I'm like, I got to watch my mouth.
Yeah.
And now I'm not as comfortable with that.
I'm working on a thing now where, because I will cuss on stage and I'll do a lot of shock value stuff. I'm working on a thing now where I don't really cuss in my personal life.
I don't think I could do that.
Yeah, well, I just noticed it. Well, behind in your closed doors with close friends or whatever, but like just being out and about in public and stuff, I just noticed it starting to bleed into the normal life.
It was just part of your regular language.
I was like, normal people are not jiving with this. Like, I think I said cocksucker at one point at a grocery store in front of the checkout lady, and she just looked at me.
She might have deserved it. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Like the machine wasn't working. Call her cocksucker. The machine wasn't working.
Debbie, you cocksucker.
I was like, it's cocksucker. And then she just looked at me, and I looked at her. I was like,
did you not scan my coupons? Bitch. No.
And it's like a Sunday morning, too. It's like church people getting out and shit.
I'm on my way to church. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Andrew Patterson's one of my closest friends. And there's sometimes I go out in public with him and I'm like, oh my God. Because he's a tattoo artist. So he's used to, like, it's his world, his clients, they're in there, that whatever he says goes. It's his shop.
You don't have to be here.
Yeah. And then second, he's a comedian, which he's on stage. It's his place. He can say whatever he wants. Anything goes. And then you're sitting at Brahms, and he's like, I didn't say anything about fucking her in the ass. And I'm like, oh my God, there's a fucking 6-year-old sitting in the chair behind you, man. I'm like, oh shit, Andrew. Like, and he's like, what did I say? I'm like, it's too late now.
Yeah,
Don't worry about it now.
It's out the bag, dude.
That guy's gonna have to explain to his daughter on the way home what that means. That's what happened.
There's another thing that I've noticed with me that's kind of similar in this realm that we're talking about. So I got into comedy, in which you could argue even like podcasting, because primarily the people I interview are comedians. I mean, we've had serious ones. We talked to school teachers, therapists, paramedics, you name it, authors.
Yeah.
Talked to a mailman once.
Yeah.
And but primarily I do comedians. And because one, I just enjoy comedy, but you can say everything I do is related back to comedy in some way. Okay. So with that being said, I've loved it growing up. First special I ever saw, I was a young kid, was George Carlin. But now I've been around it so much for several years now that my standards for comedy have grown.
Yeah.
So stuff that I would find funny, say 3 years ago, if I see someone performing it, I'm like, that's dog crap.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah.
Do you ever find that stuff like with yourself? Just find that stuff for yourself?
Yeah. I'm much more critical of comedy now. I'm always listening for oh, I've heard that before,
Mm-hmm.
or oh, this is a common premise.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of a low hanging fruit for a comic of that stature. That was kind of low hanging fruit, but it still worked. What I find myself doing more than anything, I pay attention to their production. Like, what kind of lights are they using? What kind of microphone do they have? Are they using cordless? Are they using corded?
Mm-hmm.
Did they have like big walkout intro? Did they have all these? I pay attention to stuff like that because I'm always like, hey, what can I be doing different or better to make the production of the show
Sure.
better?
Yeah.
And so there's a comic named he goes by William Martin now. He used to be Cowboy Bill Martin.
Okay.
And I think he's the king of Cowtown or something. He's from Fort Worth, and
I don't know why William Martin sounds familiar.
he's been doing comedy forever.
Okay.
He got his start opening for George Jones.
Oh, shit.
So but at George Jones concerts, he would go out first and do a little bit of comedy. So he was exposed to that audience.
Yeah.
And now that's where most of his following is still from that. So, yeah.
Damn.
I mean, let me go do 10 minutes worth of jokes before a Metallica concert. If I can get half of their audience to just start following me, shit, I'm golden.
Yeah, your life is set, dude.
But he and I, we'd known each other on social media for a long time, and then he was doing a show kind of close to my home, and I didn't have anything that weekend. I said, hey, I don't want to book anything that weekend because I want to go watch Bill's show.
Yeah.
But I already know his material. I know what he does. I want to go see what his production is.
Mm-hmm.
So I went, and it was a small theater show. And I went and I watched the production. I was like, oh, I should be doing this. I should be doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And then afterwards, he came and visited with me. And I was like, here's my question. Where are you putting your promo money? When you're promoting a show, what are you spending money on? And these were his three things. Country music radio, because that's the only radio station that they play in offices. So like if you walk into it's the only radio station that's played a lot. If you go into an office building or into a bank or something, the music they've got playing is a radio station. It's always going to be country music or oldies.
Yeah.
They're not going to have your local rap station playing at your bank. They're not going to have your local rock station playing at the bank.
Yeah.
He goes, so country music radio.
We're not playing Kendrick Lamar here.
Right. Yeah. Social media ads. He said, so Facebook ads. And then he gets those electronic billboards. That's the only three things I spend money on to promote a show.
I hear mixed reviews about the Meta promoting like social media ads for like Facebook.
You're having to take their word for it. You don't know.
Yeah.
I'm spending.
I mean, how do you verify?
I put $100 on this ad, and it tells me that it reached 20,000 people, and I'm like, yeah, but 20,000 people didn't show up to the show. I can tell you that. So I don't know. It's a gamble every time but I feel like you got to do it because that's where everybody gets their information from is social media. Yeah, that's where they get their news from.
Oh, dude, I can tell you about it because I mean, just look at like the show here because we'll go we'll do shorts and reels and stuff or shorts or whatever for YouTube and typically less than a minute, usually around like 30-second clips, right?
Mm-hmm.
Little jokes, whatever. It's all crazy stuff. And I would say on average, they probably reach between 5,000 to 10,000 people.
Yeah.
I sit down for 2 hours and have an interesting conversation with someone. I'm lucky if 50 people bust that cherry.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just the world we live in, man.
Yeah.
And so what I hope for the people that I do interview, especially like, the author that I interviewed, there was a therapist. He does a lot of travel stuff and like public speaking. And then comedians, you guys, man, I hope that y'all's career grows. And then real fans of y'all's will come back and be like, okay, what did Matt Ferrell, like, where did he start? What did he talk about? You know what I mean? Because dude, that's like being into Nirvana before they left Seattle. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah. And I would like to be able to give that to people,
Yeah.
And the podcasting game on its own is just hard enough because there's not a lot of longevity in it.
Yeah.
Most of them never make it past 20 episodes.
Yeah.
If you want to know a crazy statistic, if you do more than 20 episodes on a podcast, you're in the top 1% in the world.
Really?
Swear to God. And there's estimated to be 500,000 active podcasts in the world right now. The definition of an active podcast is someone who's posted one video in the last year.
Podcasting's tough. I've got a podcast that I've started and stopped 5 or 6 times.
It's hard.
And I've just recently started talking about, like, I want to get it fired back up. I've got most of the equipment that I need because I just want to take it with me.
That would be, I would say that
And then,
that's the
like,
best thing you
like,
can
hey,
do.
I've got a hotel room. We've got several hours before the show tonight. Whatever comic's going to be on the show with me tonight. Hey, just come to my hotel room. I got the camera and everything set up. We're just going to sit back and visit.
My advice to you, if you can get, because I focus more on YouTube,
Yeah.
right? But so YouTube's my baby. That's what I want to grow. I don't care about Facebook. I think for the podcast, I think our Facebook page has like 120 followers. It's been around for like 3 years.
Yeah.
Now I don't care like if we even post anything on it, but YouTube is what I care about.
Yeah.
And but I would say if you could go and if you took your podcast on the road, that'd be the best thing you could do. Just looking at it, man. But if you want to get more views or whatever, like quick, do it live.
Oh, just do it live?
Which is a gamble.
Yeah.
Because you can't let anything slip too crazy. You got to still make sure it sounds good and all sort of stuff. But
Yeah.
if you did a live podcast, even if it was just 30 minutes before a show in a hotel room.
Yeah. You go live on what?
You can go live on YouTube.
See, I don't know. I don't know enough about all that shit. Like
we had
I post, like, I've done stuff in the past where I've set up to record something, but then I had my phone set up on the side and I was live on TikTok while I was doing the other thing. So that way I was live on something while recording.
We've only gone live, I believe, one time, and I wasn't prepared at all for it.
Yeah. I've got some other guys. I've done their podcast a couple times. It's the Chris and Mike show. And they go like while they're recording, it's also streaming live.
Yeah.
They
okay.
do that.
Yeah. You can do something like that.
Yeah.
Live, for some reason, I think it hits. It's almost like it goes to the top of the algorithm.
Yeah.
Basically, because the only live episode that we did, I believe, was during one of the last presidential debates.
Mm-hmm.
And so we streamed it because it was a news source, so we couldn't get any copyright issues. So we just streamed that, and then we put ourselves like in a box.
Yeah.
And we were supposed to like talk about it as it was going on, but we eventually quit because we were like, these guys. I mean, it was Donald Trump and Joe Biden. Like, they weren't shutting up anytime soon. There was no room for like commentary, you know?
Right.
And I think, man, like the average view duration was less than a minute. And while we were live, later I think the analytics came back and it was something like 400 and something hours worth of watch material or some shit. Like, it was some insane shit. Like, I was like, this is, or it was a significant jump in views. I can't remember. It's been so long. But yeah, it was worth going live.
Yeah.
I noticed that. But live is a gamble because like we're doing fine. You know, we haven't let anything crazy slip, but you don't really know who you're dealing with sometimes. Yeah. And
I've got a buddy named Shane. He's real big on TikTok. Mm-hmm. And so every once in a while, when he's live, he'll invite me to join him. Mm-hmm. And it helps me out because every time I join him on a live, he's got so many followers. I usually wind up picking up a few followers from it. Yeah. So it helps me out. And but we were on there not too long ago, and he said something crazy. He was introducing me to somebody who had popped in, and he said something crazy, and it just shut it off. Like, it just Shane's been put in TikTok jail or whatever the thing pops up.
It just like freezes.
I was like, oh, okay. So then I went and I started a live, but he had a backup account. So then he just came and joined me from his backup account. And he's like, yeah, he goes, it was because I said what I said. That's the reason that it cut it off. I was like, really? Yeah. Which I know TikTok's real. Like, I can go live on Facebook and just prop my phone up on the dash of the car and talk while I'm driving. Yeah. TikTok, if it sees that your car's moving, it'll shut you off.
Really?
Yeah, they don't want you using it while you're driving. Huh. Which, I mean, good idea.
Because it's getting weird. And I think there's a lot more AI incorporated and stuff than what they're leading on. Because I know YouTube, when you upload a video, they use AI software to scan that entire, and it does it quick, man. Yeah. And it goes through every word, and it makes sure you didn't violate their community standards, any terroristic threats, anything like that. I mean, and so, but it's very, very quick.
It's weird. So I started doing a deal because I really started focusing on my YouTube. This, started towards the end of last year. Yeah. And I was like, what's something I can do? Because consistency is the key. You got to constantly post. I was like, what's something I can do? What's a piece of content I can create every day just so that I get something up there? And I was like, I'll just do a satire news thing. Yeah. The news is always, it's always creating something. I think
I saw you the other day on
so I can
Instagram
just make fun of it. Yeah, I try not to share it too many places because I don't want the politics to affect anything else. And it's not that I'm leaning right or left. I'm
Mhm.
just making fun of. Like, I'm talking a lot of shit about Donald Trump right now, but
'Cause it's a current event.
he's the president, right? He's
Yeah.
the one that's making a decision. I promise
Yeah.
you, if Biden was still in there, I was talking shit about him too. You know, so it's not right or left. I'm just talking shit about whoever's in the spotlight.
Yeah.
And so I started doing that, and I just do it Monday through Friday.
Mhm.
I keep them under 3 minutes so that they all upload as shorts. I usually get anywhere from 700 to 1,500 views on each
Yeah.
one. And my YouTube started growing. Like I gained 200 subscribers fairly quickly.
Cool.
You know, which not I think I'm still like 360 something or
Yeah,
something
it's
like
still
that. So
exciting.
it's not huge by any means, but it was
Well-
just something that I could do consistently.
YouTube is the hardest platform to gain any kind of followership on.
Yeah,
It
I'll tell you
is,
one that I
absolutely.
never gained. I gained zero ground on was fucking Twitter.
Really?
I
Like,
had a-
couldn't
I
get
had a
anywhere on Twitter?
Nothing. Gained zero ground, and I had it for. I wasn't.
Was this before it became X?
Yeah, I've had
Okay.
it since X, or since it became X too. Now I don't even
Yeah.
have it. I just deleted it.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not.
Yeah, I don't
fucking with
use it
that.
anymore.
Yeah, I'm not. But anyway, so the YouTube was really hard for me to grow. But since I've started doing this, I've started gaining some ground. But like I said, I don't share it other places very much because I
Mhm.
don't want it to, like, oh, this guy's a left wing fanatical or whatever. No,
Yeah.
I'm just making fun of this guy.
Yeah, because we've made fun of politics quite a bit.
Yeah.
And we used to do a thing, man, where we would make fun of like Donald Trump for like a week, and then we'd make fun of Biden for the next week.
Yeah.
And we would see how the comments and the crowd engagement would like the audience engagement would actually change.
Yeah.
And there was a few people who caught it in there. They were like, yeah, the funny part about all this is people trying to figure out what side you're actually on.
Yeah.
Because for the longest time, we kept it where you couldn't tell. Like, if you actually watched through our stuff, you wouldn't be able to tell if we were Republicans or Democrats or
Yeah.
Libertarians or whatever.
That's
But people get pissed,
The
man.
last time I did y'all show was when you were still at the other place,
Mhm.
and I was on my way there, and I was way ahead of schedule, and I accidentally wound up at a Charlie Kirk memorial thing. You remember me telling you about? I was like, what's all these people gathering at this small town square for? I'm ahead of schedule. Let me stop and see what's up. And I get out, everybody's wearing red hats,
Yeah.
and they're like in the back of a truck with a PA system going, ever since Charlie died, I've been getting. I'm like, oh my God, what did I walk into? So I was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna go back to the car. I just turned around and walked off. I was like, yeah, I don't want to be here. If I, crack a smile or something, people are
Yeah.
gonna think I'm the Antichrist or whatever.
Well, like my thing is, because I'd made fun of politics on my YouTube channel so much, or on the show so much, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna start doing that on stage in comedy. Whew.
Yeah, I don't do anything political
No.
on stage.
Even if it's funny, you're still not getting laughs, man.
So
It sucks the air out of the room.
I had a guy
real quick.
I had a guy one time. He just yelled up. He was like, "Talk shit about so and so or whatever," and I was like, "No, I don't do politics."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Pussy," and I was like, "All right, well, I'll address it then."
Whip that microphone cord around.
I said,
real quick.
"Here's the
Yeah.
thing." I said, "I can stand up here for an hour straight talking about how big of a whore your mom is and how every dude in here's had a turn, and you'll laugh at it. First time I make a joke about the guy you voted for, you'll want to go to the parking lot and fight. That's why I don't do politics."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Fair enough."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you get it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so because
Mhm.
I can make fun of your mom, you know that those are jokes. If I make fun of the guy you voted for, you think that I'm on the opposite side of you. First of all, the guy you voted for doesn't know your name, doesn't give a shit about your bank account, and I don't give a shit if he was blue or red. It doesn't matter. Nobody on either side of the aisle has ever gave a shit about you.
Mhm.
So why do you take it so personal? But we were doing, I was going to do a show in Amarillo, Texas, and a guy who had done a show there the month before showed up to our show. And he's like, "Hey, man, I just wanted to come and warn you, don't do no politics." I'm like, I don't. He
Yeah.
goes, "Well, here's what happened to me." He goes, "I'm from here. These people know me. It's very, very red. Very
Yeah.
red." He goes, "These people know me, but I cracked a joke about being a Democrat, and they unplugged my mic and said, 'Show's over.' It was my opening joke." That's how serious people take that shit. I'm like,
God.
why? First of all,
Yeah.
why do you take it so serious? Second of all,
Yeah.
why would I even try? Like, I'm
Because
not going to change
I
your
think
mind.
that's-
I'm not going to try to. I don't give a shit who you voted for or what you think about it.
I think, Matt, that's where you get back into the comedic mindset that like you and I have. You know,
Yeah.
where it's We don't take anything serious, really. I mean, obviously, there's, your personal life, but, normal conversation, don't take anything too serious. It's lighthearted. You can make a joke out of everything. Even if you don't like the topic, you can still appreciate the humor behind it.
Yeah.
Right? And most people don't do that.
Yeah, there's nothing about it. And it's like with the news thing that I do every day, I try to do it on the funny side of things. I try to make fun. But sometimes here lately, the shit, there's nothing to make fun of.
No,
it's
dude.
Like, hey, this is like, we're in a bad spot.
Because I thought about trying to make some jokes about like Iran and stuff. And then I started seeing all the U.S. service members that were killed. And I was like, man, I'm not even touching this at all.
Yeah, it's hard to crack a joke about the, I don't know what the number's at now, but it was last time.
It's like 16 or dead.
16? Oh, like the flight crew, did they die? I know that Iran put out a bounty for them, a reward.
You talking about the 2 fighter pilots?
No, not the fighter pilot, the flight crew that went down. There was 3 of them. And he offered $60,000, and they said preferably alive, but
I don't know, man. I feel like every day I watch it.
So let's say it's 16. 16 U.S. service members dead. 170 Iranian children killed at a school. Like, where do you find a joke?
Dude, do you think? Okay. Everyone would always throw around, this is World War III. This is World War III, like happening historically over the last, decade or so, or whatever, right? But this time, man, there's like 15 countries directly firing at each other and shit.
Yeah.
That ain't just, hey, I'm going to send you a check in the mail. Hopefully you can figure it out, like some Ukraine bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, this is, they are actually firing, and we are a part of that right now. Do you feel like this might be on the cusp of some major shit? I mean, it's already major, but you get my point.
Yeah, like I do think, I honestly think the only way out of this is if...
What are you about to say?
Is if Trump and Hegseth will take a back seat for a minute.
Okay.
Just go sit down.
Yeah.
Stop making decisions. Stop saying shit on TV.
Yeah.
Let the other people in the country, let's see if they can come up with a good idea. Because so far, one of you's going on TV lying every day, and the other one thinks that he's playing a fucking video game.
Yeah.
Like, you have no combat leadership experience. Why are you leading our troops?
What gets me is, so I read this briefly.
You just fired the top army general.
I was about to bring that up right there.
During war. Now doesn't seem like a good time to let go of the guys that know what the fuck's going on.
Trump came in and was asking. Now, granted, like I was in the military for 10 years. There's a lot of stuff that it's classified. They just don't ever release to the public. And I dealt with that when I was in Iraq.
And I think that there's things that the general public doesn't need to know.
Yes.
I agree with that.
Because that shit would keep you up at night.
I don't need to. Listen, I don't like the idea of torture. But if this guy, if it's going to happen to him to save 1,000 others,
sure,
just don't tell me about it, man. I don't need to know.
Yeah.
So, sorry, I mean,
no, you're good, man. Damn, where was I going with that?
I keep fucking you up, don't
I? You're good. It's because you'll talk about something. I'll be like, oh, okay, go over here, and then I can't get back. But damn, what was it?
You were in the service for 10 years, and there's a lot of stuff they don't talk about.
Yeah.
And you had to deal with that.
Oh well, I'll come back to it.
Okay.
But,
so like my problem with Trump is like just try. Just try coming on and being honest. Like and I don't know if he's trying to make himself look better or if he's trying to make the situation not look as bad. I don't know which one he's going for, but when you go on TV one day and you say, hey, we're going to strike them because we can't come to an agreement. But Iran's over here going, wait, we were talking about an agreement.
Yeah.
And it was better than the agreement that we had before. All right. Well,
or like what happened?
Let's side with our president because he's leading our country. Then we go and we start bombing. He's like, all right, we won that war in the first day. Well, we haven't fucking left yet, and you're sending more over there. That's kind of the opposite of we won, it seems like.
When I first got to Iraq, they declared a victory over ISIS, and my first question was, well, then who the fuck are we still bombing right now?
Yeah. Does ISIS know?
I was there for another 7 months, by the way. Every day we were sending shit.
Has anybody told them yet that we won? Because I don't think they know. But then he comes on and he goes, all right, hey, they sent us a gift. Negotiations are going great.
Yeah.
We're almost out of this deal. And then the next, in the same Press conference. Haig says, like, we negotiate too, but we're negotiating with bombs. Wait a minute. If the negotiations are going good, why are you bombing? Like, that doesn't... Just try telling the truth for a second. Let's see if the American people can handle the truth. Let's just give it a shot.
What just got me, man, was I think this is the point I was trying to make earlier. So Trump was basically like, hey, let's lay out a plan for like a ground invasion in Iran, like boots on the ground kind of thing, right?
Mhm.
And that's where 30 of the top generals in the entire country, okay, said no. This is a horrible idea. They fired 12 of those 30 people instantly in that moment. Now, I get it where the military should be like non-political, but it is.
Yeah.
Okay. All those leaders, they vote too. But if you got all your top brass all telling you the same thing, you might want to fucking listen to those guys, especially if they've been doing it for 30, 40 years, you know?
I've had jobs in the past
Mm-hmm.
where I was supervisor, manager, and director over, I probably had 120 to 130 employees at one time.
Yeah.
Not huge, but not small.
Not small by any means. Yeah.
I knew that everything from that position to the President of the United States, it all should work the same way. If you want to be successful at your job, hire good people and let them do their job.
Yeah.
Hire advisors and listen to what they have to say. But if you've got all these people that, like you said, these are the top guys. They've been in this situation before, and they're telling you, hey, this is not a good idea. And you go, well, if you don't agree with me, kick rocks. I'm still going to do it the way I want to do it. That doesn't make you look good. If you'll listen to the people that are in that position, they will make you look good at your job. I was respected before comedy. I was respected and looked up to for the position I had because I let all the people that worked for me do their job. I rewarded them when they did a good job. I straightened them out when they started getting out of line. I wasn't a dictator. I let everybody do their job. I also gave them all the tools that they needed to be able to do those jobs well. That was my job, is to make sure the people I hired could do their job. If the president would do the same thing, it would work the same way.
It's a crazy concept.
Give the people the tools they need to do their job and let them do their job.
Yeah.
Your job is to make sure that they know what their objective is and give them the tools to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, and
pretty
full
simple.
disclosure. I mean, I'll be honest, like I voted for the guy.
Yeah.
I did.
Are you disappointed now?
Me? No, because I was hypercritical of him going into it already.
Yeah.
Which I always am with any politician. And I don't care what anyone says. It's all it's two different sides of the same coin. It doesn't matter if it's a Democrat or a Republican.
For sure.
Okay? Like whatever needs to happen is going to happen. So all that shit with Iran would have happened underneath Kamala too.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer in that.
So I was talking to a oil field guy the other day. Big red guy. He's red all the way.
Yeah.
He's like, but I got to be honest. Every time there's a Democratic president, they're all talking about how they're going to shut us down. They're going to slow us down.
Sure.
There's always a spike in oil production under Democrats. Always.
Yeah.
He goes, every time there's a Republican president and it's drill, baby, drill, we're losing our asses. Because they're laying off guys left and right.
And I think they go back and forth and they intentionally use that to manipulate markets.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. And this whole thing that we're doing, it's about money, oil, and power. Those are the three things that drive the world. Money, oil, and power.
The president literally keeps talking about their oil, and he's mentioned multiple times like, oh, we'll just take it.
Yeah.
Dude, dog, this is a fucking heist. That's what this is, you know?
Venezuela, that's all that was.
We can kidnap presidents of other countries now?
Yeah. We just do
Now,
it.
we did pull it off like a bunch of gangsters. I will give those guys that. They were getting out in 10 minutes.
Because, dude, this is
with a discombobulator? I never even heard of that shit. You know?
Oh, my God. So first of all, who's naming these fucking things? Midnight Hammer and Epic Fury? They think they're playing a fucking video game. It's ridiculous. But here's my top problem. Of course, this is an easy argument and there's memes about it. Like, hey, you guys that voted for Trump, he promised no more wars, no regime changes, lower gas prices, lower grocery prices, and a thriving economy. None of those things are true right now.
Yeah.
Are you disappointed in your pick?
Yeah.
So that's the easy argument.
Mhm.
Let's go a little bit deeper. The Venezuela thing. All right. First of all, we weren't going to get involved in regime changes, and that seemed kind of out of nowhere. Now,
That was an overnight thing, and nobody saw
no
that
point
shit
in time,
coming.
I'm not sticking up for the fucking Ayatollah of Iran, and I'm not sticking up for Maduro, the dictator of Venezuela. Bad people. We should have sent.
Sure.
Where's Chris Kyle when you need him?
Yeah.
All right, let's one shot and get this shit done.
Mhm.
But we went in, we kidnapped the president of Venezuela and his wife. We seized their oil, sold it, and then all of that money was put in an offshore account, not in the United States.
I didn't know that last part.
All of that money was put into a bank account.
Are you serious?
It's a Middle Eastern bank account. I don't know which one, but it was a Middle Eastern bank account. Now, supposedly, all that money has been returned to the country of Venezuela.
Yeah. Sure. You know, I have a joke in one of my bits where I talk about Epstein. And I'm like, everybody's so concerned about these flight logs and all this other stuff. But I have only one question: where did all his money go?
Yeah.
I mean, that guy was I think personal net worth was around $1 billion, and he managed billions more for other people.
There is
not $1 has been talked about out of that bank account.
He
dude.
was a CIA operative.
100%. Either like Mossad or CIA, but he was definitely intelligence.
Yeah,
sure.
but I think that he worked for all of them.
Yeah.
I think that he was kind of a whore,
Yeah.
and they just passed him around. But everybody knew that. He knew everybody's secrets, and he knew how to control everybody's money. So it was worth it to let him get away with shit.
For sure.
But then he got outed by a Karen, saw it and said, "Hey, there's billions of dollars at stake and lives in other countries are at stake, but he did hurt children," which I've got to get on board with that.
Sure.
I
mean, it seems like a pretty reasonable stance to take there, Matt.
So he got outed by somebody, and then the shit just started unraveling from there. Now, okay, back to Trump.
We're getting into shit now.
The Board of Peace.
You just lost like 50 subscribers of it.
You know what? The Board of Peace.
Yeah, the Board of Peace.
You can't make it make sense.
Yeah.
You can't.
Mm-hmm.
He started an organization. He handpicked what countries were invited, and it cost them $1 billion each for a seat at the table. $1 billion each.
Laughing at this shit, but it almost writes itself.
Now the bad part is that he then announced, but me, the United States, I'm going to take $10 billion of our dollars to put in. That makes me top dog.
Mm-hmm.
It's America. It's taxpayer money.
Yeah.
And he just unilaterally did that without approval. He took $10 billion and put it into this thing he wrote it out. It's in their fucking handbook.
Yeah.
He is the sole person in charge. He's the only person that makes decisions. He's without any oversight.
Mm-hmm.
Their first move, which my question was, okay, what's the Board of Peace do? Their first move is that on the Gaza Strip, they're building a place that's supposed to be where all the world leaders come to figure shit out. But it's a fucking resort. It's a fucking real estate deal. That he took $10 billion of American money and put it over here, and now he has 100% control of it. Nobody can say anything about it. How does anybody look at that and go, it's just Don being Don? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
How is that okay? Nobody. The level of narcissism that the man has is unrivaled.
Well, I'm a firm believer, man, that to get to that level in anything really, whether it be, the public or private sector, but especially the presidency, to get to that level, 100%, I don't care how you are portrayed in the media or how you speak behind a microphone, 100% you're a legitimate psychopath. I don't think normal people can make it.
So I tell this to people about comedy all the time.
Yeah.
Comedy takes the right amount of delusion
mm-hmm.
and the right amount of narcissism.
Yeah.
In order to be able to make it. You have to be delusional enough to think that you can make it. You have to be narcissistic enough to think that the shit you wrote is important enough for people to sit down and listen to.
Sure. Yeah, I can get behind that.
If you have too much of either one of those, you're fucked. If you have not enough of either one of those, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Same thing with the president. You have to be a little bit narcissistic to think that you're the man for that job.
Yeah.
Or woman, my bad. You also have to have a little bit of delusion to think that you're going to be able to fix all the things that have been fucked up for the last 125 years. But if you've got too much of either one of those, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Which is where we're at right now. Why is he putting his signature on the money? That's narcissism. Why does his name need to be on the Kennedy Center? That's narcissism. Why are they building a fucking ballroom? It's not because the White House needs it. That's narcissism.
Yeah.
Why are they building an arch in Washington, D.C. for a monument for him? That's narcissism. Why is he getting his name on the fucking airport in New York City? It's all narcissism. At one point in time, you go, all right, bro. Like there's a fucking war going on right now. Can we worry about that? Let's just fucking pick. Like, you don't multitask very well, all right? Also, this is a huge fucking problem. I can't believe this wasn't talked about more. Why are the lights even on at the White House? He spends all his time at Mar-a-Lago. Whatever, okay? But to make up a makeshift war room at Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah, that was kind of wild to me,
That's one thing. But then you've got a map hanging on the wall behind you that shows all the places that we're supposed to be fucking going.
Whoa, that happened?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It's on a fucking, like, the pictures from, like, when they make the announcement. Just look them up. The pictures and you see, like, Trump sitting at one end of the table and there's a couple guys, and you can see where the curtain is kind of pulled back on one side and there's somebody looking in. Hanging right behind him is a map that's got locations on it. You don't think they watch our fucking news?
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
The Kash Patel is fucking worthless.
Yeah. Oh, that guy.
He's fucking.
I actually think that guy, he has to be compromised somehow.
Yeah.
Because them coming out with just the handling of the Epstein files, him and Pam Bondi, look at it like this. They were like, it exists. Everyone knows the shit's real. It happened, okay?
Yeah.
People got arrested, okay? That shit was real. Then they were like, we got all the files. We got all the evidence. We're going to release it. And then they both come out and are like, there are no files. It doesn't exist. And then they backtrack and they're like, okay, well, we got to go through it and redact some names. And they hide behind this to protect the victims bullshit. No.
Yeah.
You're taking some information out of that shit. And then Pam Bondi goes officially on the record and says, if we prosecuted everyone in the files, and I quote exact words, the entire system would collapse.
Yeah.
And then she just got fired.
Burn that shit down, bitch. Burn it down.
Like, yeah, dude.
Fuck it.
I'm like, good. Maybe it fucking should, you know?
And then to replace her, you know who replaces her is his personal attorney. That's the guy who's responsible for getting Ghislaine Maxwell relocated to the Cushy prison.
It's fucking insane, dude. And like, here's the thing. And like I said, to go back on it, I voted for the guy, okay? Yeah. I felt like he was, at the time, the best option to go with.
Which I've talked to people about 100 times. It makes sense to me. If you watched all the things that he campaigned on, it made sense to vote for him.
But this shit is bananas. And I think I actually talked about it on the show in some of our earlier episodes.
Yeah.
Before he got elected his second time. I said the dangerous part about this stuff is presidents, they don't do crazy shit in their first term. I was like, it's the second term you got to worry about.
Yeah, when they're not worried about getting hired again.
Because they ain't got nothing to lose,
Except this guy, now he's got people fucking putting up bills to see if he can get a third term. Yeah.
It's like, you know,
everything.
Let's fundamentally alter the Constitution.
Everything has been unwritten. It doesn't make any fucking sense. It's
what are you talking about, Matt? It's just words on paper. They don't matter.
We've passed the level of entertainment and we've definitely breached into the scary.
And that's why we can't talk about it on stage, because it's actually fucking terrifying at this point. You stop and think about it. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think Trump's entirely bad. There's some shit that he does that I still think is good. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, do I think that we need to secure our borders? Do I think we need to get like violent illegal immigrants out of our country? Sure.
Yeah, except that only 14% of the people who were deported actually had any kind of violent criminal history.
Yeah.
You definitely went about it the wrong way.
Yeah. I think, and I'm not going to say it's not foolproof.
Dude, I was in Chicago doing a show, and there's a comedy club there. And we didn't go to the comedy club.
Like Chicago, Illinois?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Is there another Chicago?
You're from Oklahoma. That's halfway. That's like literally across the country.
Yeah. And by the way, I'll never drive there again. I'll never drive in Chicago again. That's the worst fucking city to drive in.
I'm gonna have to clip that out. That's gonna make me seem completely retarded.
Chicago,
like Illinois?
Yeah, no. But I mean, it could be fucking Texas. There's a city every Texas.
You got a Paris.
I'm gonna go through Paris on the way home.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're in Chicago. And this is, all this shit's still popping off there. And I was visiting with some people after. I was like, is it as bad as they say? And for the most part, you go around the city, it's not nearly as bad as they say. No. But then you get in some parts of the city, and it's exactly as bad as they say. Mm. That night, a manager at a club, a comedy club, ICE goes into the club like they were looking for him. Snatched him up, dragged him outside, face down on the sidewalk, cuffed him up, put him in the truck, went away.
Yeah.
He is a white guy born in Texas, and ICE picked him up.
What's going on there?
He never heard anything else about it.
Mm-hmm.
No reason was given, no warrants, no nothing.
Yeah.
And it's like, like, you can't even go, oh, we thought he was Mexican.
Mm-hmm.
But plus, I mean, there's bad people. I'm not saying we shouldn't be out there trying to get them. We definitely should. Yeah, the guys that come here with ill intentions, fucking get them out. Mm. But they're not all Mexican.
No, dude, you have like literally, I mean, there's something like 189 countries in the world or some shit like that.
Yeah.
It's up there.
That don't like us?
Just in general. Probably at this point not. So, I mean, it can be from anywhere, It could be fucking Canada.
Yeah, dude, could be the most polite terrorist ever.
Oh, hey.
Sorry about this, eh?
Yeah. So I don't know. There's some things that Trump has done that I do agree with, and then
before the war, the stock market was doing great.
I was really disappointed in the handling of the Iran situation. I know it's a tough, sticky situation, but here's the thing, man. What was the excuse? Okay, they're 4 weeks away, a couple weeks away from building a nuclear weapon. Okay, well, here's the reality, man. Iran, and you can look at this historically. Elected officials in this country have been saying this shit since like the 80s. They've been 4 weeks away from developing a nuclear weapon. I don't think they're close. I don't think they ever were.
Yeah.
Man.
Especially when 6 or 8 months before you said that you obliterated it.
Yes.
And that's the problem. Like,
you also can't get that wrong either. So
stop saying shit until you know that it's a fact. Stop saying shit just to make it sound good right now. Mm-hmm. Because if it turns out that you're wrong in 6 months, now when you try to roll it back, you look like a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what he looks like. And he goes, well, they're only weeks away from developing this. Wait a minute. 6 months ago, you said that you obliterated it so bad that it would be decades, if not a century, before they would ever have nuclear capabilities again. Mm-hmm. And now you're saying 6 months later, they're only weeks away?
Yeah.
So which one are you lying? You're lying on one of them.
Sure. Or he's getting bad information. Somebody's lying to him.
They got bad information once, didn't they? Right at the beginning of the war, and they bombed a fucking school of children. Because they were using 10-year-old information.
Laugh, but God. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong, man.
Yeah, they used 10-year-old intelligence.
But then the world is so fucked up because when I heard about the bombing of like the school children and stuff, right? Which accidental bombing is happening all the time.
For sure.
When I was in Iraq, we were bombing in northern Iraq and Syria. Like shit happens, okay? And so, but the world is so fucked up and so crazy, and you don't even know what to believe anymore. My first thought was, well, maybe that's not even true. Maybe it wasn't us. Maybe it wasn't an accident. Maybe we did it on purpose, or maybe the Iranian government staged that shit and did that shit themselves.
Yeah,
because that happens.
Yeah,
hearts and minds win wars, man.
That's what you hope. You hope that that's what it was, and then our own people come out and go, "No, it was us."
Yeah. So you
my bad. Yeah. And right now, and here I think that Trump is the all-time world record holder grifter of Earth of all time.
Yeah, that guy is nothing is scripted. He just goes for 2 hours like on a fucking campaign trail and will just talk.
Yeah.
And he'll have the crowd fully engaged the entire time.
And then he'll say something about an ink pen and everybody's like, woo! And you're like, what?
Yeah.
Y'all really like Sharpies that much? Like, why the fuck did everybody just cheer for that? But yeah. But I think the biggest problem, the two biggest problems we have right now, Trump's not even one of them.
Yeah.
I don't like him.
Sure.
I think that he's a grifter, and I think that he's fucking robbing people blind right
Yeah.
now. I think and I fucking hate the argument of, well, he doesn't even take the president's salary. Yeah, a lot of presidents don't take the president's salary. Well, he's doing it.
And it's not that much money
It's
anyway.
costing him money. No, it's not.
No.
This is the richest he's ever been.
Yes.
He's made in the Forbes magazine, not fucking Fox, not CNN. Forbes magazine said that 2025 was the most profitable year that Trump has ever had.
Yeah. And then not to mention all the entire companies that are like held underneath like family members' names and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they're all associated with it.
So
Yeah.
I think he's just a grifter, and he's fucking doing a good job at it. The two biggest problems we have are Pete Hegseth. I think he's a fucking danger to the country.
I don't like that guy.
And Congress.
Yeah. Congress has always been a
Congress is the only they're the only ones that have the power to stand up and go, no, you have to stop. But they're not doing it. And the reason they're not doing it is because they're fucking making money too.
Yeah.
Pete Hegseth got slapped down because he tried to invest millions in BlackRock right before the Iranian war started. But he tried to invest so much at one time that BlackRock's people flagged it and said, hey, this seems suspicious.
Yeah.
So they flagged it and kicked it back, so his investment didn't go through. But then you got people like fucking Mark Wayne Mullins, who's now the new Department of Homeland Security Secretary. He's a fucking idiot senator from Oklahoma who says, when you get the smell of war in your nose, it never goes. Bitch, you're a fucking plumber.
Yeah. Like, what
You're a plumber and a failed MMA fighter. You don't know shit about war. You ain't never enlisted. Shut the fuck up. But then when we did the Venezuela thing, because he did sit on a board or on the board for military action, so he knew it was coming. 3 days before Venezuela happened, he invested $50,000+ in Raytheon, which is a contract company that we used for that, and he invested $50,000+ in Chevron, which is the company that we gave the contract to get the oil out of Venezuela.
It's the same thing as
so he made fucking millions on that shit.
It's the same thing all those pieces of shit in Congress did whenever the coronavirus was coming out, and they had their little meeting, right? That was all secret. And then, what was it, like 3 of them immediately, like within, like, I think one of them was in that meeting and they were dumping stocks.
Yeah.
They saved millions of dollars and everyone else's shit dried up.
Yeah. See, and I've always been on the side of, man, I don't think that you should take, investing is you have that right. Anybody can.
It's like
invest.
voting.
So I don't think you should take that away from them just because they're on Congress. But then the way shit's been going the last several years, I'm like,
maybe they should.
Maybe we shouldn't allow them to fucking, because it's all about, they're making all of their congressional opinions based on personal gains.
For sure.
Which does not
and
mean
these people aren't
what's best for the American people.
Like, this isn't a small amount of money we're talking about with some of these people. Like, I mean, Nancy Pelosi and her husband, look at how much money they were worth.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You start talking to like a net worth of like what, probably easily $100 million.
Yeah.
Because I mean, he was a big, basically Wall Street guy. I mean, I think it was like private equity or something like that. But he had a shit ton of money and access to a lot of credit for it.
And she had all the inside information.
Yes.
And now
you don't see a problem with that?
Yeah.
You think that happened by accident?
No, so now I'm to the point where I'm like, maybe we should limit it. But I also agree with what Trump's trying to push through now of hey, Congress is not a career anymore.
Term limits.
Yeah, put term limits on Congress.
The presidency has term limits.
Yeah, and
my only thing is I would like to get into the mindset of like the founding fathers when they came up with that.
Yeah.
Why didn't they put term limits on Congress?
I don't know.
That had to be a discussion. That conversation had to come up, but they were adamant about putting term limits on a president because they didn't want America to ever have a king.
Right. But and I don't know if it's because you got to think too when the Constitution was written or when all these things were put into place, like these people didn't spend all of their time in Washington D.C. They were actually in their states.
Yes,
they were boots on the ground with the people that they were supposed to be representing.
Yeah,
well, now
and then also their industries were based in their states, like tobacco farming, things of the nature. So
when was the last time that Mark Wayne Mullins spent any amount of time in Oklahoma working with Oklahomans about what's best for Oklahoma? No, he spends all his time in D.C. fucking stroking somebody off so that he can get this fucking Department of Homeland Security job when it comes open.
By the way, on a side note, I really think all those people like connected to politics, right? Whether elected or whether appointed or elected or not elected officials, I think they're all like fucking weirdos. And just look at the what is it, Christy Nome?
What about her husband's
Her-
tits?
that's what I'm saying,
God,
bro.
they're huge.
If you ain't read it, that shit came across my newsfeed earlier. I was like, God.
I did the last episode I did of the news. I said, hey, man, and I'm not judging. You want to dress like a woman? You do you. Do whatever you want that makes you happy.
Yeah, bro.
But for the love of God, straighten out your crooked eye nipples. Like that picture, his fucking nipples are like this. I'm like, come on, man. Take a little pride in what you're doing. Make your nipples straight.
I don't give
I
credit.
don't like looking at a
half-ass work.
cross-eyed woman. I damn sure don't want to look at nipples that are pointing east and west. What the fuck are we
dude.
doing?
And then, I mean, she came out saying that it was a shock and it was devastating. It's super embarrassing. And I'm
I
like,
think he was pretty embarrassed that you were fucking that other dude,
My
too,
thing-
you know?
isn't she the one that was jerking someone off during the Beetlejuice
No,
play?
that was Bobert.
Lauren.
Lauren Bobert.
Yeah.
She was
yeah.
jerking off her husband in,
Yeah, that was
in
actually
the movie
like,
theater.
Yeah, she was a congresswoman. Yeah.
Yeah. Colorado congresswoman.
But I think they're all fucking freaks and like,
Yeah, and I don't give a
Crazy as
shit what
shit.
they do in their spare time in their bedroom
Yeah.
or whatever, but when you're
But-
letting it fucking bleed over into the public, hey, man. Like,
my thing is, how did his shit even get released? Like, how did it get leaked? Did the person because he was paying these like fetish, like OnlyFans models or whatever.
yeah.
I think they said $25 a minute, which fucking kudos to whoever figured out how to make that money. But,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
but did they screen record it and then release it? You know, how did this come out? And then Christy Nome was like, I had no idea this came out of completely left field. And I'm like,
There's no way you didn't know.
There's no way you've been married to this guy for how long and lived with him and all this other stuff. And you didn't know some shit was a little fucking off. All right.
Yeah.
He's walking around with fake tits, lady.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
get your
you
shit
had to know.
together.
And it's, so
You know what I mean?
I was like, well, apparently Chrissy Nome's not the only one in the family that likes to cosplay. You know, because I used to pick on her all the time because she's always, she'd come out in a fucking Air Force uniform.
Yeah.
And then she'd come out in a fucking...
What is up with your family trying to dress up, lady,
Yeah,
all the time? Yeah.
For the love of God, just get dressed like a normal person. What are
Yeah.
you doing?
I'm still on the fence of whether or not they all eat babies. I haven't really gone full.
Yeah, I've just always kind of written that one off. I'm
Yeah.
like, I could
That
definitely...
seems a bit much, doesn't
I
that?
could see that there's probably some blood transfusion thing. They think that, hey, if we do blood transfusions with young people, that's going to help us stay young. I could see that being, but just eating babies, that seems, I mean,
It's a bit
you
much.
could,
It's all over,
if you
man.
met Jeffrey Dahmer, you knew that he was off.
Yeah.
None of these people seem like they're Jeffrey Dahmer level of off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and plus, eating human flesh bad for your teeth. That's why he had fucked up teeth.
Is it?
I think so, right? That seems like some random.
Wait.
This
You
guy
don't
this guy comes at me with like some of the most. He's like, "Did you know?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
"No, but let me put my seatbelt on first."
you,
'cause sometimes he tells me some shit that's way out there.
Did you watch that Dahmer dramatic reenacting or that Dahmer series on Netflix?
Yeah.
Dude, I couldn't finish it.
It's
I was like, the last like it started getting really dark the last 2 episodes. I was like, dude, I can't watch this, man. I was like, oh my God, bro. And
Yeah.
then when he had the guy in his apartment, had him watching TV and shit, I was like,
yeah,
fuck that, dude.
wild.
That shit is real, man. People like that
Yeah.
exist. Those are just the ones we know about.
That's the
You know?
what's the other one that Charlie Hunn played him, the massacre guy. You know who I'm talking about?
What kind of massacre?
It's the guy that the Chainsaw Massacre that made the lampshades and
Oh,
wore.
Ed Gein.
Ed Gein,
yeah,
the Ed
yeah.
Gein story.
Yeah.
I only watched like the first episode and a half of that, and I was like, whoa.
I quit
First of all,
watching.
he's doing too good of a job of acting. Like, I don't know that I want to watch him in anything else now.
Don't know if he's acting.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna
So
see him
real.
next time he's in fucking Sons of Anarchy or something. I'm gonna
Yeah.
be like, that dude eats people.
Yeah, it
He's-
threw me off when he was wearing women's clothes and jerking
Yeah.
off. Well, what was he hanging, trying to like choking himself or something?
Yeah, autoerotic. What's autoerotic
Oh.
asphyxiation? I don't even know how to say
Some
the
shit
word.
like that.
Yeah, I don't. You know,
I quit watching it when his mom had the stroke and he started bathing her because I knew where it was going because I know the story and I was like, I ain't watching this shit unfold.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck that.
what's crazy is all the stuff that came from that guy. Like, it's where
Yeah.
you know what we're talking about, right? It was either like in Michigan or something, or Wisconsin or something. It was someplace like,
Midwest.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that's where Texas Chainsaw Massacre came from. Is his story.
It just inspired a shit ton of art.
Yeah,
that came
yeah.
out
It
of
just
it.
came
Yeah.
like wild and crazy shit that came from this.
I was
guy.
watching a documentary about horror movies years ago, and I didn't know this, but when the original OG Texas Chainsaw Massacre came out, they were getting protested at theaters
Really?
because people thought it was real.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So a lot of like local church groups and stuff came out there and they were protesting it because it was like a real snuff footage and
Yeah.
stuff because it was so realistic for the time.
I'm surprised they didn't get it taken off, man. Because
Yeah.
when churches put their mind to something, they can make some shit happen.
Another
can't
interesting fact is Kevin Smith, right?
The comedian?
Jay and Silent Bob,
Mhm.
all that, right? So he created Dogma, right? Did you ever
Mhm.
see that?
I don't know that I ever did, but yeah, but I
Okay.
know what you're talking about.
It's pretty sacrilegious. It makes fun of like
Yeah.
Catholicism specifically, but Christianity as a whole, right? It
Yeah.
really goes into there. And it's a pretty funny movie. I like it a lot. You can't even like buy it you can't buy it on like Amazon. It's not available to stream anywhere. You basically
Really?
got to get it from his direct website to get it now. Yeah, they won't show it on TV and stuff. But when it was coming out, and it's a hilarious movie. Like it has the Jay and Silent Bob crew. It has Chris Rock in it. Like, I mean, Alan Rickman's in it too.
Yeah.
Old Professor Snape from
Yeah.
Harry Potter before the black guy.
Yeah.
That everyone's freaking out about, which we should talk about. But anyway,
Yeah.
and but he was protesting his own film, and it's actually recorded. He got interviewed by a local news company. So he's outside of the theater. He gets Dogma in theaters, and he's out there, and he's just holding these picket signs with like all these people who disagree with this movie. And he's like, yeah, this is bad. We need to get rid of it. Like, it's a slight against God, like things like that. But he's getting interviewed by the late night news, protesting his own movie that's sitting in there. And they have no idea who he is.
That's
He's
hilarious.
like, I wrote and directed all of this. Yeah, it's pretty cool. You should look it up on YouTube.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, even bad press is good press. Right?
Yeah.
The more you tell people not to do something, the more they want to do it. It's the red button effect. Don't push the red button. Well,
Yeah.
now it's all I can fucking think about. Is pushing the red button. Yeah. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start protesting my own comedy shows.
You could do it. Yeah.
I'll be the only person out there picketing, and the only guy that cares enough to picket this shit. That's funny.
There's definitely something to it, man. There's a way to get people like riled up and pissed off, and some media groups have figured it out because they do it all the time.
So I had
news doesn't
Andrew
every day.
Another thing, Andrew at one point in time he said because I used to talk. There's a couple comedians. I don't want to call them out too much.
Yeah.
But they're super right wing, like, and that's all their stuff is about right wing stuff, and Democrats are dumb, Democrats are stupid, like that kind of shit. And Andrew's like, you should start an online beef with those guys because they've got a bigger following than you. So just start an online beef with them, and you'll start picking up some of their followers.
And not even that, like, just on the fact that like their followers will come and attack you, and then they will remix and they'll reshare your stuff and be like, screw this guy. And then anyone who would be not on the far right would probably come to your defense and then start following you. Yeah, you could do it. I mean, but it's just, can you weather that storm, bro?
That's my deal. I don't know that I want to do it.
That's a tall order, man.
It's the same thing as
that's like Jesus knowing he has to die. It's like, fuck, here we go.
It's gonna suck for 3 days. Dude, I've been so...
We're on the cusp of Easter.
Yeah,
like, it's going to be a little while for this
tomorrow.
episode comes out, but yeah, tomorrow's Easter. Happy Easter, by the way.
I've been so weird with religion. I was brought up Christian, brought up, we went to a few different denominations. We went to Methodist church, went to Baptist church, all this. And here's my deal on religion.
Yeah.
Not that you fucking asked, but I'm going to share it with you anyway. This is where my personal is. I believe in a higher power. I believe that there's a creator.
Okay.
Do I believe that the Bible is it? No.
Yeah.
I think it's a great book. I think there's a lot of great lessons in there. I think there's a lot of great and entertaining stories. I don't think that anybody lived to be over 300 years old. I don't think that one guy built a boat big enough for all the animals on the planet. I don't think a bush caught on fire, and that's what I think. If anything, there was a dewdrop that, and the sunshine coming through the dewdrop and the bush caught on fire. It just happened as he comes to the top of the mountaintop and he saw it as a sign. I think shit like that happens all the time. I can't tell you how many times I'll be driving down the road and I'll go, oh, Chick-fil-A, it's a sign. I must have Chick-fil-A for lunch today. I see signs all the time.
Yeah.
But so I don't, I find it way more believable that that the higher power helped Moses part the Red Sea so that people could get away. I find that more believable than one guy putting 2 of every animal on a fucking boat.
Sure.
But I still think they're great stories and there's something to be learned from them. But I also know that the Catholic Church with the Roman politicians sat down and said, okay, what stories do we want to put in this book?
For sure.
There were thousands of other stories. They
I mean,
picked,
that's
they pick
definitely
and
a-
chose which ones went in because that's
Mhm.
was going to be the easiest for them to be able to govern their people with.
Mhm.
So also I saw this fucking hilarious meme the other day, and it's this woman, she's just sitting there and she's like, I'm trying to figure out where Jesus met some dudes named Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John in the Middle East. Because that's another.
Why'd you have to say it like that, man?
That's another thing. I cracked one like Pete Hegseth. You know, he goes.
Well, Daryl was a little busy.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right.
Pete Hegseth goes to a known white nationalist church, and the guy that
Wait, when you say like white national, you're talking basically like neo-Nazis, right?
I mean,
let's just say neo-Nazis would feel comfortable going there.
Yes.
Okay.
And the guy that which is funny to me that there's all these politicians now that are like, well, this is my spiritual advisor. That's your preacher. That's the guy that preaches at your church. It's your pastor.
Yeah.
It's your priest, like whatever. But now it's his spiritual advisor is this guy who is the preacher at a known white nationalist church in Washington, D.C. And now Hegseth wants to pop off every once in a while and start saying that this thing that we're doing in Iran is a holy war. Bro,
yeah, okay, so
here's my problem is that there's no doubt in my mind that Pete Hegseth thinks that Jesus was white.
Yeah. Blonde hair, blue eyed.
Are you fucking kidding? Do you not own a goddamn map?
You ever traveled the world?
Yeah. And who's man, I'm sorry we got back to this. Is Hegseth now using the same speechwriter that Trump used to use? You know when Trump would do that to this big guy, strong guy came up to me with tears streaming down his face. I'm like, that never happened. That's obviously made now Hegseth's doing his deal. He's like, so I did a surprise visit to our troops over there, and I was standing on the tarmac as the sun was going down, and there was a cool breeze coming across.
Mm-hmm.
Like, first of all, why are you setting the scene? Like, you're obviously it's theatrics, and then this junior airman or some shit, I don't know what he said. She was knelt down doing something, and she looked up at me, and I said, "What can we do for you?" And all she said was, "More bombs, sir."
Yeah, that conversation.
What the fuck are you talking about? You fucking nobody believes that was real. You didn't sell it,
dude.
At
Look,
all.
man, I spent 10 years as enlisted. I know how those guys talk, and it ain't like that.
More bombs, sir. But anyway, yeah. So
is more what that probably would have came out.
The spiritual stuff is
that's where I do have a problem with that.
Okay,
because I was, I think that's a dangerous road to go down because I was looking at some stuff that Hegseth was saying, okay, and they were literally using the term, this is a holy war, okay? And I'm like, do they have the same fucking speechwriter as Osama bin Laden? Like, is that what the fuck we're doing right now?
Yeah.
Like, because that's the same shit they're doing. And if you want to get on some real shit right here with Judeo-Christian beliefs, okay? You take Christianity, Judaism, and you take Islam, okay? They all worship the same God. It's all the same God. We just call it God. They call it Allah, whatever. But it's all the same God. Our Old Testaments are fundamentally exactly the same. The real only question is Jesus Christ the Son of God, yes or no?
Yeah.
In the Holy Quran, it acknowledges that Jesus Christ was real. Never denies it. But they do not believe that he was a Messiah, the Son of God. They believe he was a prophet, just like Muhammad.
Yeah.
Muhammad was a great prophet in theirs. And so they go with him. And the thing is they take out of context a lot of shit from the Quran and they use it and they spun that into this whole jihad thing, right?
Yeah.
And then also when you start using that same verbiage and that same terminology, yeah, you might change the language a little bit, but it's the same shit you're talking about, bringing back to them. And those things do not end well, man.
Yeah.
And they will stretch for a very, very, very long time. And I think it's a fool's bet to believe when they started going in Iran and fucking with that shit, being like, oh, we're going to be in and out in 4 weeks. And now they just updated and said, it's going to be another 2 to 3 weeks. Mark my words, man. It'll be a few years. We're still going to be there.
Yeah.
Still doing the shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I've always been, and it's crazy enough. This is where I learned a lot about the Islamic beliefs and stuff. Was when I was working in a prison.
Oh, yeah.
And like several of my...
Were you a CO?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
Several of my inmates
Mhm.
were, you know,
Muslim.
yeah, they were Muslim. So like, and I would talk to them and visit with them, and they're like, no, like it's the Quran is just like the Bible. It's a book of peace
Yes.
and lessons.
It actually says if you want to
But
get down to
just like with Muslims and Christians, there are extremists in both.
Yes.
The guy that blew up the Murray building in
Mhm.
Oklahoma City was a Christian extremist.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He was
For
a
sure.
white guy from Michigan,
Uh-huh.
and you're worried about a Mexican because he slapped his wife one time. Now, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
He should be in jail for slapping his wife.
Yeah.
I'm not condoning that. But the reason you're mad is because he's brown.
You know, one thing that gets me too is like when you talk about, you know, the Bible and then you talk about the Quran as well. What gets me about the Quran is a lot of people don't realize this, but it actually talks about it in there that they're not allowed to kill Christians because we worship the same God.
Somebody tell him? Yeah. Somebody forgot
There's
to
a
tell.
part of the Quran where it goes into the Church of War, where it talks about basically warfare.
Yeah.
And that's where they get a lot of stuff for the jihad and stuff. But it talks about literally how Christians are supposed to be treated when they've been conquered. They can conquer us, but they can't kill us.
Yeah.
And so one of them is a Christian cannot hold a seat higher than a Muslim. And basically what that translates to is we would never be able to ride a horse, which in modern days would come to we wouldn't be able to drive a car. We wouldn't be allowed to have hair on our head. Our heads would have to be shaved. We would basically have no rights to vote or do anything remotely like that, be involved, hold any positions of power. We would have a special tax put on us as well, but they wouldn't be able to kill us. And it just gets, if you start diving in, I studied a little bit in college, man. And so like I was like,
Yeah.
holy shit, this is interesting. But that stuff is never talked about.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
just blood in the streets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then if you look at it, if you really go that route, both sides are literally contradicting themselves in their own beliefs.
Oh yeah. It's picking and choosing. That was always when the
Because what's one of the biggest things in the New Testament and the Bible? You talk about in the Ten Commandments. Don't kill.
Yeah.
Just don't kill people.
Yeah.
You know?
That's like, I mean, even though I think the Bible is just a good storybook, I don't think that there's good things in it.
Yeah,
the Ten Commandments they're all great rules to follow.
If you take the principles from the Ten Commandments and you take the fundamental beliefs of the New Testament, I'm not talking about believing in the history, but just how to operate your life.
Yeah.
There's nothing bad in there.
Yeah.
Just be a good person. Don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal.
Yeah.
Don't kill.
Stop fucking your neighbor's wife.
Yeah. These are all easy things. I feel like we're about to get the Boondock Saints speech at the end. You know, these are all principles that all men of all faith can live by.
Yeah. But I also,
but it's
as much as I believe in it and I think that it's all good,
Mhm.
I don't think that you should shove it down other people's throats.
Sure. Absolutely. And I will say this too, because I am a Christian and I don't go to church like every week, but I go, you know, occasionally when I can. When I don't sleep in.
On Easter Sunday?
Yeah. I don't think I'm going. It's a little too much traffic for me, bro. But yeah, man. I don't believe that any type of politics, any type of religion, so including my own, should be anywhere in the public sector.
Yeah.
I think if anything, it should be illegal. This is a crazy thought. I think that should be fucking illegal for elected officials to even disclose what religion they are, what denomination they are. They shouldn't be able to influence anything from that whatsoever. It should be completely separate because at that point, you're not acting as a citizen. In my opinion, you're not strictly just a normal, everyday citizen of society. You are a representation of the country. And the big thing on that is separation of church and state.
Yeah.
And you need to keep that shit out there. And one thing that really does frustrate me, even though I do agree with the Ten Commandments and stuff, is a lot of pushing that stuff in schools. And then they get real finicky when other religions start trying to pop up and have their beliefs acknowledged. And they're like, oh, well, not about, I'm like, no. This is not picky, choosy kind of shit. This is all or nothing. So I think nothing is the best answer for that.
There was a guy, I agree with you.
Yeah.
But there was a guy,
because I don't want a president talking about a holy war.
Yeah.
You know?
There's a guy a while back, his whole deal was he was going around places that would have big Christian showings.
Mm-hmm.
And he say, and then so then the next week he would book the same venue,
Yeah.
and he would do his devil worship or Satanism or satanic, whatever you call it. And his whole deal was like, you can't tell me no.
Yeah.
You can't discriminate against any religion.
Mhm.
So and that was his deal. So yeah, if you don't want a Satanist to go to your public library
Mhm.
and hold a rally,
Yeah.
you can't take your Christian religion
Yeah.
and hold a rally there.
You should watch a documentary. It's fucking creepy, man. It's called The Family. It's on Netflix. Have you ever heard of this shit? It's like it's like a movie, so it's like, like an hour and a half or whatever. But it's about basically a religious organization for men.
Mhm.
And what they do is they take in these young guys and they all live basically in the same house, and everything's centered like super hyper religious Christianity, right? And that's their entire life.
Yeah.
And their entire purpose is to serve politicians in Washington, D.C. Yep. They get groomed to go in they'll get jobs as like personal assistants, secretaries, whatever, and they'll work for them because they're like basically brainwashed to believe that the will of God is being carried out because these men were elected. And so they get all these like foot soldiers, and then it gets really weird and manipulative and how they keep like these young guys in this stuff. And a couple of them broke out. It's basically like a cult.
Mhm.
But then it goes on to the leader of that organization started the presidential prayer breakfast. And they show photos of this leader of this with like every single president over the last like 40 years, man.
Yeah.
Like, and it just shows the amount of influence that's woven into that, because then it gets into like the money they raise and stuff from churches, how it ends up in these campaigns and stuff. I'm just saying, you need to cut that
Yeah.
line of communication off,
Yeah.
man. Be out of there.
And it's there's so many things that people don't think of as religious.
Yeah.
If you take all religion out of it, there's not going to be a Christmas tree on the White House lawn anymore.
Yeah.
There's not going to be a big Easter egg hunt for the kids on the east lawn or whatever anymore. Like, so like all those things, but like I've got
what I'm describing is what you should feel when you look at politics in America is the same feeling you should get when you walk into a public library.
Yeah.
When you're just like, huh.
Yeah.
I'm here for one reason only, and I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Yeah. If they don't have
they
the
should
answer
be making
for them,
TikTok shorts and stuff, man. You know what I mean?
It's everything. And I think that's even a testament to what we talked about earlier, is it doesn't matter how much we don't like the social media stuff. It's necessary. It's the way the world works.
There's no going back on that shit.
But now, like, why is there a TikToker for the White House? I mean, I guess that's how.
And then what's crazy is like all these social media influencers, like when they released the first phase of the Epstein files.
Yeah.
Like, why the fuck were all these social media influencers getting these? Like, you remember when they came out and they were like, "Oh, we gave them to them. Like, they flashed all the binders and stuff." It's like, well, what is it? What the fuck are we doing right now?
Yeah.
Like, are you telling me? So you're telling me if my podcast was bigger, okay? Let's just say I had
you could have got the first draft.
Yeah, I could have got a first draft of the Epstein files dump. Yeah. Been on the White House lawn, shaking hands with the president, all this other stuff. Turned the highest acting attorney in the entire United States at the time, Pam Bondi, sitting there, U.S. Attorney General, and I would have gotten a fucking copy of that. And you don't see a problem with any of that shit?
Yeah.
Who's checking and where's the checks and balances on that information those guys would release and how they would even distribute it to the American public?
Yeah.
Like, media is a dangerous thing. I mean, I've been doing this for 3 years. I mean, I do other stuff like videography and photography as well, along with the podcast. There's a lot you can do with editing and the way information is just like dispersed out to people. And even like you start getting into like cadence and rhythm and timing, and a lot of it's like stand-up. And then you can structure wording in a way to where I can make you think a thought. Not me, I'm not that good at it, but media in general, I can make you think a thought and you will actually believe it was your own thought.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's a dangerous fucking world to live in, man.
Yeah.
And
there's people that's their profession, but that's also like the Charles Manson effect. You know, when like
We're all written by Charles Manson.
that was his deal. Is Charles Manson like when he had a cell block to himself, and the guards were on 15-minute rotations, because if they were afraid that if a guard stayed with him for 30 minutes, he would convince them to do whatever he wanted. He was that charismatic. It's charisma.
Yeah.
He was able to. That's why these other people went out and killed folks. That's why Helter Skelter happened.
Because he never actually killed anyone.
He didn't do it. He didn't touch nobody. But he was able to convince those other people that that's what was necessary.
Yeah.
So the same thing. But it's also the editing. And so when this comes out, people won't know that you fucked up the intro 4 times. You'll edit that part out.
Hey, don't be giving away the family recipe.
But there was a deal with
I notoriously fuck up all the intros at least 4 times whenever I do
with
this.
Prince Harry. There was that picture that came out, and it was out for a long time, and it was one angle is the only one they showed, and it was him doing this.
Oh yeah,
but then there was somebody from the other angle, and he was doing that, which depends on where you're at. That is the same as that, so it doesn't really matter. But
yeah, he was doing something completely. It was like a sign of like peace or something like that. But it looks like he's flipping off.
Yeah,
like,
it looked like he was flipping off people. Yeah. Really, if you another camera angle. It wasn't. It was 100% innocent. But yeah, it's all about the angle and the editing, and you can make it. And AI now is, some AI is fucking horrible, and I'm tired of it. Other AI, I'm tired of it because I can't fucking tell if it's real or not. Like, it's hard to, you don't know what to fucking believe.
You ready to put on some tinfoil hat shit?
Bruh, I've got a fucking joke I'm working on about that I will fucking talk about on this. Go ahead.
Maybe it'll help you out. You can steal this idea. This is just a thought that occurred to me, man. So I think AI was created by our government, by DARPA, okay? Or a joint, basically, coalition of world governments, okay?
All right.
And I think what happened is the internet got out the bag. Everyone started using it, okay? There was this rapid exchange of information. People were starting to, like, they could sit down and watch a 3-hour podcast of, like, professionals sitting down, PhDs, whatever, explaining what's happening with governments, with private industry, you name it, okay? So there was unlimited access to information. People started becoming more aware of shit that was happening, more critical of their governments, more critical of social leaders, whatever it may be, people who run Fortune 500 companies, yada, yada. There was no way to hide this shit.
Yeah.
Because just a few decades prior, the only way you were ever seeing this shit was on C-SPAN. And so now it's getting really broken down in real time. And so I think all these major world governments just came together. Maybe it was just us. I don't know. But they came together and they were like, okay, we cannot stop the flow of information. So how do we discredit it all? We create something where they can't even tell the difference if it's real or fake. And I think they just put it out there, man, to completely discredit everything. So now going forward, especially if you fast forward another year or two, you can't believe any photo, you can't believe any video, you can't believe anything you read on the internet because it's all fake.
Yeah.
It's the ultimate checkmate, man.
So I agree that that's a very strong possibility. I don't think they created it though.
Oh shit!
I think that a guy named John wanted to see his high school crush naked, but he knew she was never going to go for that, so he created this thing that he could just take her picture and put it on another naked body, which is AI. And then the government saw that and said, hey, we can make that better and use it for something else. So I don't think they created it. I think they stole John's idea because he just wanted to see some tits. That he wasn't man enough to get himself.
The funny part is you're probably right, Matt. You probably really are.
All right, so this is a joke. I don't know that I'll ever take it and use it anything serious. It was I picked up this girl one time at a bar, and she was great. We got to her house, and we get to her room, and we're getting intimate. And also, I looked up, and the whole ceiling is covered in tinfoil. And I was like, what is, like, no, I've seen tinfoil on windows. Hey, maybe she works a night job. She's trying to keep the sun out. Or maybe she's cooking dope. I don't know what she's doing. But the whole ceiling. And I said, hey, what's that about? And she goes, well, you know how people tell you that when your relatives die, they watch down on you and watch over you. I don't want them seeing what we're about to do. That's the premise of the joke. It's like they wear tinfoil hats so that the people in outer space can't see their thoughts. Yeah. She put tinfoil on the ceiling so that way her loved ones that had passed on can't watch us fuck. Was the premise of the joke. This obviously wasn't that fucking good.
Yeah, I was just trying to process it. I was like, what the?
Yeah. That's why I haven't told that joke out.
And I was trying to figure out too. I was like, this actually happened to you?
No.
It's like bad thing about comedians. You never know when it's true or not.
Yeah,
Half
yeah.
time.
That's I do have a lot of people come to me after shows and they're like, "Hey, did that really happen?" I'm
Mhm.
like, yeah, that happened.
Yeah.
There's very few things in my set right now that aren't true.
Yeah.
They're all embellished and made to be bigger stories,
Mhm.
but very few of them are not true.
Yeah.
And like I said, that's the reason I don't worry about people stealing my shit is because all my jokes are written about my real life and
Yeah.
real experiences. There's one joke that I do. It's one of my favorite jokes to do. It's one of my more popular jokes. Cody, my son, who you can't see sitting over here.
Yeah, we got a guy in the corner sitting there.
We were driving along one day and something happened. And then he and I just in conversation started riffing on it, and a whole fucking joke came out of it.
Yeah.
That's a long joke that's been added on to and made bigger. But yeah, that's so it didn't really happen, but the situation was real, and then he and I were able to create a story from it. And I tried to give us a challenge of writing a new joke on the way to the show last night, and we both drew a blank and just sat there in silence for about an hour.
Aren't those great?
Nothing happened.
Dude, so when you write, man, how do you, not necessarily your writing style, but what's your routine that you write in? I'm just curious, because I'll tell you mine. Mine's a little odd. Like, do you just sit alone, like at a desk in an office at the house, or are you laying in bed with a laptop going at it? I mean, you just voice recording?
When I write, like I'll do a lot of voice notes.
Mhm.
Like I'll just pull up notes on my phone and go, chicken in the grocery store parking lot.
Yeah.
And that's it, And then later on, so then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna sit down and write today.
Uh-huh.
Then I get out my phone or my notebooks that I've jotted notes down in, and I'm like, all right, what's this? Let me write out the whole story.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how it comes to is
I gotcha.
just every once in a while. But yeah, I have to do it when nobody else is around because I'm so easily distracted.
Yeah.
I have the attention span of a fucking gnat. So if there's somebody's watching TV in the next room and I can hear it, I'm like, oh, what are they watching? I get distracted. So I have to do it when nobody else is around and when it's quiet. And my wife thinks that I'm being rude when I'm in the middle of writing and then a conversation starts over there and I get up and I go to the other room.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to not be rude and go, hey, can y'all be quiet? I'm trying to fucking do something here.
Yeah.
I just go to the other room. But yeah, I have to have total focus when I'm writing.
I do this thing, which is a little weird, I guess. So I call it being alone in public, right?
Okay.
I will, so like here, because I just moved here, so I go to the same restaurant all the time. The people who work there probably think I'm weird as fuck, for what I do. Or I'm trying to play some angle. Well, it's a restaurant. It's a whole thing. But anyway, so I bring in a book and then I bring in my journal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I write jokes in my journal. And when I have writer's block or need to take a break, I read my book. And that's it. I don't really bother anybody. I just mind my own business and do it. So it's just kind of odd because I'm sitting it's a restaurant, but I'm sitting at the bar.
Yeah.
And it gets a little lively and stuff. And so there's all this like chaos and all this noise going on around me. But for some reason that lets me hyper focus on that. And it's like I cut through all of that. I don't know. It's a weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because I know most people need quiet. They need.
Yeah, I wouldn't because I would be way too distracted. Because I'm a big people watcher.
Yeah.
Like if I'm in public, I want to sit with my back to a wall so I can see everything. I don't want to miss anything. My wife hates going to eat with me because I'm paying more attention to everybody that walks by and what's on their plate and shit like that. I'm so easily distracted.
Yeah.
It's a problem.
Well, the people that work there now, they know what I'm doing because I've invited them to shows. I'm like, hey, you should come check out, some of the shows that we do and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But it's funny, especially people who aren't regulars or work there that'll come in and I'll be getting some looks, man, because I'll be scratching in a journal, like in a notebook, and I'll just start kind of laughing to myself.
Yeah.
And I mean, bird's eye view, that looks like a psychopath sitting in a corner.
That motherfucker's making his hit list right now. Yeah. Come on, honey, we gotta go. Yeah. I do like I don't use my phone as much as I should for a tool. Like I
can't do
I don't have my calendar's not in my phone.
Mm-hmm.
It should be. Every one of my shows should be on a calendar in my phone. So that way if somebody asks me, hey, are you available? I can just look at my phone. My phone's always in my pocket.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do that. I got to run out to the car and get my I've got a regular calendar.
That's how I am
in my backpack. But my calendar is never farther away than my car, and neither is a notebook.
Mm-hmm.
So if I think of something, I'll go write it down real fast.
Yeah.
I've got notebooks all over my house. I've got
I do the
probably 4
same shit.
notebooks in my backpack in the car right now.
When it comes to like the writing stuff, man, I can't get on the digital stuff. The only time I will make an exception for like doing any like type of device
Yeah.
is my laptop when it comes to writing the essay. Like I'm going to write the story before the punchlines are even in there.
Yeah.
So when I got to sit down and try to write like 2 or 3 pages worth of stuff, it's going to be faster versus like just writing it out.
See,
by
not from
hand.
I'm not a good typer.
Oh shit!
I'm a hunt and pet guy. I still every once in a while I'll get a pinky in there for an inner key, you know. But I'm a slow typer.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not even good at that.
Shit.
I want to be better at it, but
Yeah.
I'm not. But it's like the news show that I do every day. I long form write each episode, so I've got notebooks now because I've been doing it long enough. And each episode is usually 2, sometimes 3 pages.
Mm-hmm.
But at the top of each one is because I just call it top news. So it's top news and the date.
Yeah.
And then I write them in the order that I want them to go in. Like I write out a full script, and then I have that laying on my laptop to where it can't be seen from the camera because I do it with my laptop open. And I'll look down and go, okay, that's the next story, and I'll record it, and I go back and I edit out all the middle parts, you know, of me looking down at my book, so that way it looks like I'm just speaking it all straight to the camera. I wish I had
giving away trade secrets.
I wish
here,
I had
man.
a teleprompter. I used to, when I first started it, I had a whiteboard, and I would write out the script on the whiteboard, and I would prop it up next to the camera, but kind of out of sight.
Yeah.
So that way I was just reading it, but it looked like I was looking at the camera. So it was a
I'll tell you one of the tricks that I've used before. So like our shorts and our reels that we do, which are not clips currently right now are not clips from the show.
Yeah.
They're all individual jokes and they're just banana stuff, right? None of them are even serious. Just complete satire and comedy. But so I'd write those out, right? And like I'd type them out, and then I'd give them to Moses, and then he would kind of look over them and stuff, and be like, "Okay, this might be too much, or I think maybe change this a little bit." Something.
Yeah.
And what we would do is we'd pull it up on our computer next to the camera, and we would increase the font size so we could read it, and that was our teleprompter.
Yeah.
And then the distance from the camera is so much you can't tell that I'm actually reading it.
Yeah.
So
see, mine's very close. So I'm like my desk isn't even this wide, and I've just got a tripod set up on that side and a ring light. I don't even use my ring light the way I'm supposed to. I've got it set off to the side instead of shooting through it.
Is it probably glares at all? Is that why?
The ring light?
Yeah.
No, just because I don't want to. I don't know why I don't. There's no reason for me not to be using it the right way.
I want to try it. Ring lights are pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I use it. I just have it a little bit off to the side.
Yeah,
and it's pointing this way. So I have shadow on this side of my face, but it's very. You can watch one episode of it and you go, "Oh yeah, this motherfucker has put zero money into this."
Hey man, go and check out our first episode. It is fucking horrible.
I record everything on my phone because I'm faster at editing on my phone than I am on the laptop.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you only got to use your thumbs?
Dude, CapCut, I can whip out an episode so fast on CapCut.
Really?
Yeah. It'll take me, like when I record with all the breaks of looking down and reading it and then all my missteps, I'll say something wrong. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, all right. And I'll start back over with all that. Sometimes it's 7-8 minutes long. I got to edit it down to where it's under 3 minutes. It'll take me, 7 minutes to record it. And then I'll turn off the lights and get my phone off the tripod, and it'll take me 3 minutes to edit it.
Yeah.
And I've got an intro. Sometimes I put beeps in it, like when I'm like I'll look off camera and go, "What the fuck?" and I'll beep
it out. Yeah.
Just like not that I'm not trying to cuss on there, just because I think it's funny to have that.
It's funny.
The color bar. I used to use color bars. Now I use my logo instead of that. And then I have an outro, which is follow Matt Ferrell comedy on all these platforms, and then I have a support live comedy, which is a thing that I'm gonna make a deal. I'll show you the picture. It's super simple, but I want to make this, and I'm gonna start selling it as merch. And then what I want to do is I want to start selling it to other comics at cost, but then they can sell it as merch also. So no cost, but it's support live comedy.
Okay.
That's all it is. We can put it on hats, we can put it on shirts, we can put it on whatever. but then just because we're all trying to put out the same message.
Yeah.
Hey, support live comedy. But you could sell it as merch. You're still going to get it at cost.
Yeah.
The same as what if you were buying it, from somebody else. And I just got a new t-shirt guy. So like I can get t-shirts.
Well, keep me updated, man, and we'll work with you too, man, and we'll advertise it on the show too if you want.
Yeah. It's something I'm doing a show next week that I'm gonna film. And we're gonna film the whole hour. But then my idea right now, we're gonna film the whole hour and I'm gonna edit down to 30. So and I'm just gonna release a 30-minute on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
But that'll be the 30-minute that I use for submissions to clubs and stuff that I'll send out.
For sure.
Because I don't want to send them the whole hour. But I hate sending, like right now, I had a club talking to me the other day and they're like, hey, can you send me a clip? I was like, yeah, I sent them a clip and it's only like 45 seconds. And it was enough because now they're working on getting me a date. Mm-hmm. But I hate just sending 45 seconds to somebody else. I'm like, I don't feel like, it worked, but I don't feel like they got enough. I want them to get more. I always want to give them more. Last night, the show we did, Jeff was like, hey, you'll close it out for 25 to 30. I was like, okay, but if they're feeling it, can I keep going? He goes, yeah, for sure. If the crowd's in it and you're still having fun, keep going. So I did 45 to 50 instead.
Yeah.
I was always supposed to do,
That's my thing. Is like I would always be cool with someone running a light as long as the show's going well.
Yeah.
My biggest thing is like I don't like if people run light if it's not working.
Yeah.
It's almost, in some cases, I would say it's almost better to, if you know you're bombing and you're really eating shit.
Yeah.
And say you got 10 minutes you got to be up there and it's minute 5 and it's going bad. It's almost better for you to go ahead and get off.
Yeah. For sure.
Just let the other guys pick up the time.
Wayne Morris did this for me one time, and it was probably the thing not talking shit about everything else Wayne Morris has done, but just this one specific. Like I had so much respect.
Well, he still hasn't come on the show, so there's that.
I had so much respect for it. He was opening, and I think he was supposed to do 10, and he was about 2, and he could tell they did not fucking like it.
Yeah.
And he goes, you know what, guys? I'm going to go ahead and cut my set short because I don't want to ruin the rest of the show for you guys. So give it up for your host coming back to the stage, and had that guy come back up.
Yeah.
And he comes back to the table where I was sitting, and he goes, sorry, man. I said, no. Like, I think you were right in this instance. Like, it was not going well.
For sure.
Your style just wasn't hitting with them.
Because that
was the best thing you could have done for the show.
Yeah.
And so people who eat shit and don't shift gears, you're hurting the show. People who run the light drives me crazy. And people who go up and do time after the headliner. That drives me crazy.
I haven't seen that yet.
That drives me crazy.
Does that happen often?
Way more often than it should. Way more often.
Why would anybody book somebody after a headliner?
No. Sometimes it's the host.
Oh.
Or sometimes it's the showrunner or whatever. And here's the deal. If I go up and I murder for 45 for an hour and the crowd is fucking hot.
End on a good note.
Now they're like, oh shit, I can go up there and crack off a few more jokes while the crowd's still so hot. And if those jokes don't go well, you just ruined the whole fucking show.
Yeah, man.
It's crazy to think that it ruins it that much, but I can't fucking stand that. And it does happen quite a bit. Now, I'm okay with the host going back up after the comment and go, hey, guys, thank y'all very much. That was our show. Be sure you follow everybody on social media and pay attention to the website so you can see what show's coming up next. Nothing wrong with that. Make sure you tip your bartender before you leave.
Just
whatever.
Just close it out.
But going up there and doing time, like trying to do more jokes after, that irritates me so bad.
And what's funny is like, anyone who's not a comedian probably wouldn't really even think about it.
Yeah.
But then it's like people who do comedy.
Yeah.
The first thing they're gonna be like is, what is happening right now? Like, this guy doing this?
Dude,
Jesus.
I pay so much attention to little shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
The production, how much, last night with the show we did was at Deadbeat Brewing Company in Hammond, Louisiana. Great people. And it was put on by Jeff Vance and Lunchbox Comedy. Jeff has a one of those rollout banners that stands up.
Yeah.
He's got one of those, puts that as a backdrop. He does a show there once a month. So since he does a show there once a month, he went and got lights and just installed them there.
Oh, hell yeah.
So now there's a little spotlight that's perfect for that size of room. He's got some other lights that he mounted on the side because it's a brewery. They got off to one side. There's those big vats. I don't know what you call them, the things that they brew in, I guess.
Yeah.
He's got this light that reflects off of that, and it changes colors as the show goes on. So it's just giving ambiance to the room.
Yeah.
All the other lights are dimmed down, but over here on the side, there's just this real soft. And it's shit like that he pays attention to
Mm-hmm.
in the production of the show.
Well, that's when you know that someone's like actually an artist in what they do.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
So I like that kind of shit I pay attention to. Like I said, I went and watched that William Martin show. I went because I wanted to see what his production was. And, and he was basically his own opener. He had a projection screen that as people were coming in, there was music playing and there was trivia questions going on there. So people were entertained as they were coming in and getting their seats.
Mm-hmm.
Then it was time for the show to start. It switched to a video. He'd already put out his special, and his number one joke on that special, he'd already done. So it's not in his new set, but it's his most popular joke. So it played that from his special, just that closing joke, his puncher. It played that, and then went into a voiceover, him doing his own voiceover of "Now welcome to the stage, William Martin." So he was his own opener.
Huh. That's pretty. I've never seen that.
And then the projector went off, and spotlight hits the stage, and there he is. And I was like, fucking genius.
Yeah.
He ain't paying no opener. He ain't paying no feature. But it all looked good. And it gave him a way to keep that one joke that did so well for him. It keeps it alive without him looking like a hack and reusing that same joke even after he's put it out.
Yeah. Also, I admire people who create stuff entirely on their own and end up owning it all. I think that's really cool because I'm actually writing it now, but I'm in the process of starting a sketch comedy group, man.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do it here, and I got a bunch of comedians. My only catch-22 with this is to be an actor and actress, you have to be a comedian because I just want funny people on the set. And so I'm leaving plenty of room for ad-lipping, adding whatever they want to punch up, even just in the moment, whatever it may be. And so, but I'm going to call it Sketch Audacity, and I'm going to put it underneath my LLC that this podcast is actually under as well.
Yeah.
So I'll own it entirely and stuff because I ain't paying these comedians. I'm telling you right now, y'all, you're not getting paid not a single goddamn dollar. You're getting paid in exposure. That's what that is.
Oh, shit. I've heard that for years.
The budget is like not. That's why.
Hey, we ain't got no money, but you'll get some exposure. I'm like, oh, okay. I'll drive across the country for your 20 people audience.
But my goal is to make them like funny enough to where it's something different, Yeah. And not a lot of people are really doing sketch, I don't think.
I think it's starting to pop back up and be more popular because I'm hearing more people talk about it.
Because I grew up watching The Whitest Kid You Know.
Yeah.
Like I remember shit like that was funny. Chappelle's Show also like that was, and then it just died for like 10 years.
Yeah. Well, he went to Africa. I mean, he didn't die. He just went to Africa.
South Africa, yeah.
Yeah.
He never quit doing comedy and never quit writing the whole time he was gone.
The whole time he was gone?
Yeah, he was. I think he was still doing comedy over there.
Really?
I think somebody told me that. But it was like small, like little, like it'd be like little like venues, like little dive bars and stuff.
Yeah.
Like just
I know. I watched the deal. He said his favorite room is the belly room at the store, which only seats 80 people.
Really?
That's his favorite room, is a small, tight venue like that, which is great.
Yeah.
But I know, like, when he first came back, he'd get his, little karaoke machine. He'd go to the park and do stand-up just at a park. And then when he was in Austin, he was walking down the street. And before Austin had blew up to be the comedy thing, and he just went inside, and it was close to closing time. And he's like, I want to do comedy. And the people were like, dude, you do whatever you want.
We'll stay open all night. Yeah.
And they did. He goes, but of course, social media had blown up. So all the people that worked there and a few people that were still there had already messaged all their people. And the bar wound up being packed. And it was closing time. So they just locked the door. And he said, we stayed there till 4 o'clock in the morning, just me talking.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah. Somebody told me that the whole time he was on his hiatus, man, that he was still writing. And
I don't see how you couldn't.
Was basically doing open mics pretty much, but it was like his local area. Like he wasn't like going out and traveling and kept it all low key.
But when that's your life, when that's what you do, and it's an art, It's
No.
not like, it's not like, oh, I used to be a garage door guy. So if I
Yeah.
go and just disappear for a year, I'm not just going to go keep doing garage doors.
Yeah.
But if it's an art thing, like, how do you stop?
You don't.
You can't, I mean, I think that's when you go crazy.
Same thing with like Rodney Dangerfield. I mean, he had dabbled into comedy when he was young, and I can't remember the story, but he got basically disheartened from it.
Yeah.
Kind of rejected, like it was just tough, whatever. But he quit doing it.
Yeah.
Got married, I think, if I remember right. Had a whole career, and didn't go back to comedy for something like 30 or 40 years.
Yeah. He didn't pop until he was like 60 or something.
Yeah, but he kept writing jokes the entire time.
Yeah.
And then when he came back, he had decades worth of material to come through or to offer people. And it was insane. That's why he was just able to blow up so quickly and actually like really come out like seemingly all the time with brand new stuff. But it was because it was 30 years worth of shit.
Right.
That he never stopped writing.
So I was going to tell you this earlier. I think you should try doing this. I couldn't do it because it's not I don't write for 5 minutes. I don't write for 10. I don't,
Yeah.
I just write until I think I've got enough for 45.
Yeah, okay.
And then I work on putting it together. But I also don't hit open mics. Like if I write a new joke, I try it during a regular show. And I'll plug it in here and there, and that's how I flesh out new jokes. Is I just put them on regular shows, and then put it back in.
Well, Matt, some of us don't get to do 45 minutes, man. But nobody likes a bragger.
You should write 15.
Okay.
Write 15 the traditional way with a hard hitting opener and a closer, and that's what you're working with. Then write another 15 with a hard hitting opener and a closer. And find a way to put those two things together. Now you've got a 30-minute set that's got a huge punch in the middle.
Oh, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no shit, yeah.
Then write another 15.
Yeah.
Now you got 45. So just and try building a set that way.
Yeah.
That's what I talked to.
Experiment with that.
I talked to Andrew about doing that because he was just writing short sets and he was wanting to get to the 45 and the hour. I said just write 4 15-minute sets.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm saying that like it's, just do it. I mean, I know it takes time. Writing a 15.
This is not an easy process.
Writing a 15-minute set's not something you do this week.
It's almost like the initial rough draft is the easiest part.
Yeah.
It's the perform it and refine it.
The idea of just writing a 15-minute set. I'm not trying to write an hour. I'm just trying to write a solid 15-minute set with a good opener and a solid closer.
Yeah.
And then do that again and put those together. Now you get a 30-minute set.
Every comedian that comes on, I always talk to them about their writing style, and I'll share mine too with them. But because I'm just fascinated in how people write.
Yeah.
And then what tools do they utilize? Like you don't. It depends. Like some people don't use like their phones. Some people do use their phones. People don't use laptops. Some people handwrite their stuff, like whatever it may be. Some people are word for word, like whatever they're going to perform. Some people I met, they just have like notes that just tell them talk about this subject, and then they just keep the jokes in the back of their mind.
Yeah, which is after I've built it, that's what it is. Yeah. I also I still take notes on stage. And I don't give a shit what anybody says.
I take notes immediately when I get off stage. I like sit down and then I'm like, okay, cool. And then I go.
I mean, just taking my notes on stage, and they're
okay.
sitting on a stool.
I was like taking notes, like okay, do this.
No, not taking, not
I
writing down
take notes during.
But like I'll do.
But no, I get your point.
Like
take your book.
I've had comics talk shit about it. I'm like, I don't give a shit. I've had enough head trauma in my life. I don't have a memory. I mean, it's just, but.
Someone told me one time.
I also I'll have notes on the stage, and somebody that I've worked with numerous times. They're like, no, you don't. Yeah, they're always there. But I don't pick them up and look at them. They're just sitting there.
Yeah, you walk back, give it a glance.
I walk over and I pick up my cup to get a drink. When I set my cup down, I've already glanced at it, and I know what the next 3 are.
Yeah.
And for the most part, I don't need them. But they're there just in case.
Yeah.
I've
written shit on the inside of my hand before and act like I was adjusting a mic stand.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So, but almost like my notes are, like the open, like my notes that are on stage, it just says, wife calls me dumbass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know what that is. And then that leads into Timu got me. And then that leads into sex swing. And then that leads into, the next one. So like I know what they all lead into, but it's just like one or two words.
Yeah.
And I know what the rest. I just need it just in case, because I have been in the middle of something. I'm like, "Oh, shit, I don't know what comes next."
Yeah, that happens, and it's like brain farts. Like at least from my perspective and in my experience, brain farts tend to happen more on stage than they do off. I think it's like an
so much going on.
There's a lot of shit going on. I think the adrenaline plays a role into it.
Yeah.
And that was another reason why I quit drinking, is because I started forgetting
Yeah.
what the hell I was going to have to talk about. I mean, I've had 2 major brain farts on this episode. And this is low threat. There's me and 2 other people in this room right now.
Yeah. I've never written for a short. Like the first time I ever went on stage was for an hour.
I remember you telling me this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was because I was naive and ignorant. I didn't know any better.
Mm-hmm.
So the first show I ever did, I did an hour on stage. Not saying that it was great by any means,
I was gonna say, that's insane, dude.
But so I've always just written like, hey, I've got to do this much time, and I'll just write it and then work it out. But when I got something new, sometimes I'll run it by. I'll call a comic buddy, and I'll go, hey, just like this premise popped in my head. Like, what do you think?
Yeah.
Or sometimes I'll have the whole story in my head, and I'll not like bring it up with just an average Joe on the street. Go, hey, let me tell you about this joke I wrote. We'll just be in conversation, and I'll tell them a story. It's the joke. It's the joke that I'm working on, but I'm using it in regular conversation to see how it worked out.
One thing that gets me, man, I'm really hesitant to tell people that I am a comedian or that I even do comedy at all. And because
tell me a joke.
And the thing is, man, I do a lot of one-liners on cards, and I hate that, because if I just tell you as a normal person in a normal setting in public, you are going to look at me like I am a freaking psychopath.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Comedy is the only profession where people want you to prove it. Right? Nobody's ever walked up. You've never said, hey, what do you do for a living? And they're like, I'm a plumber. I'm like, fucking, where's your wrench?
Yeah.
Where'd
you get your certificate?
So this has always been my comeback. I used to have like a stupid dad joke that I would throw out there.
Yeah.
It was a funny one. Most people would get a giggle out of it, but it wasn't. But then I was like, oh God, I hope they don't think that's what I actually do.
Yeah.
So now I just tell people, I'm like, well, before I do that, let me ask you, what do you do for a living? I'm like, I'm a mechanic. I'm like, cool. My engine needs to be rebuilt. Will you knock that out for me real quick? And they're like, well, what do you mean? I'm like,
you go tinker with that shit for a little while. I'll get back to the joke.
You want me to do what I do for a living for free on the spot. Mm-hmm. Would it be fair if I asked you to do what you do for a living free and on the spot?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, see? And I learned that from a musician buddy of mine. Mm-hmm. We were we had a big cookout coming up, and I told him, I said, hey man, I said, you're welcome to come. He's like, yeah. He goes, I think I will come. I said, we're gonna have a fire going afterwards. Bring your guitar. He goes, no.
Fuck y'all.
And I was like, why? He goes, well, that's my job. Mm. You asked me to just come hang out. Now you're wanting me to just come be entertainment at your party for free.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's not what I was aiming at, but I 100% understand where you're coming from. I hope you didn't take it as an insult or whatever. And he's like, no, not at all. He goes, but I did want to get the point across. And then he showed up to cookout and brought his fucking guitar. So the whole conversation was null and void, but it got the point across. Mm-hmm. I was like,
yeah, for sure.
But so I don't hold it against people when they ask, because they just don't think about it the way that we do.
Yeah.
But that's exactly what it is. You're a comedian? Prove it. Fuck you. I didn't ask you to prove shit.
Yeah, dude. I just some of my one-liners I go for like real shock factor, like on stuff.
Yeah.
Like I have one that I kind of literally just, because some of them I shift gears to polar opposite directions so fast that like I could be talking about relationship stuff, and then literally the next one is the war in the Middle East.
Yeah.
Like and it's so back and forth. It keeps people on their toes, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
And I have one, Oh God, man. I have one that I do, and I ask people. I kind of set it up a little bit. I'm like, oh, you guys like Dr. Seuss? And typically they're like, yeah. I'm like, well, I got one that'll rattle your fucking cage. And I'd start rhyming, and I'm just like, Israel, Palestine, what do I care? It's not mine. And just like throw the card off. And then just like, Jesus.
Yeah, so we didn't know that's where I was going.
Because I take whatever side you're supposed to be on, could be on, and I
Yeah.
just tell you, I don't give a shit about either one of
Yeah,
them. And so don't even worry about it.
I remember you telling me about that. You would do that. Of now that I've got you thoroughly confused and you have no idea what side I'm on.
Yeah.
Now we can move on with the rest of the show. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like the idea of that.
I try to leave confused myself. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what I fucking believe in right now. Yeah, like after this conversation, I'm going to the mosque. Like, what? I'm not even. Yeah, I'm
But it's funny to
confused,
watch
too.
people get bent out of shape sometimes too. You know, like
Yeah,
even though like I would say 99% of the time, no one says anything, no one heckles or anything like that. But you can kind of read it on the faces, right?
yeah,
And typically, middle-aged white women get real sensitive about a lot of shit. Is all I'm saying.
yeah. They're the first ones to get offended on behalf of someone else.
It's always a group that has nothing to do with them.
Yeah.
You know? It's
Yeah.
like, come on, lady.
It's like you've never even dated anybody that race. Why do
Mhm.
you care? Yeah, yeah. They're wild. I like. Okay, it doesn't matter what style of comedy you do. Do the type of comedy that you like, you enjoy, and is truest to yourself. So I don't care how
Yes.
offensive or dark you want to be.
Yes.
Now your job is to find the fans that fits.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's other people out there that think that the dark and crazy shit you say is just as funny as you do.
Yes.
You just got to find. Anthony Jeselnik's crowd is not at your typical open mic.
Oh, for sure.
He had to find his audience.
Mm-hmm.
Or he had to just keep putting it out there until his audience found him.
And it kind of goes back to what we were talking about as, comedians. And the thing is, like, there are comedians on Netflix that I don't think are particularly funny.
Fucking
Like
ton of them.
Yeah. But however, I can appreciate they put in the time, they're making jokes, there's an audience there that came to see them specifically. It is funny, and I can appreciate the art for what it is. It's just not my type of comedy, and I don't find that to be humorous.
Yeah.
Just me. I'm not going to go protest in the streets or bash their name and drag it through the mud, but, it is what it is, because some of my jokes, people, and some of the comedians I like, people don't like at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, hey, that's cool. Like, I like Lewis Black, and there's a lot of people that don't like him. I think he's too offensive.
Yeah. I think he's hilarious.
Yeah.
I love Lewis Black.
Because he'll go on politics and he'll like shit on politicians. He doesn't care. He's done it his entire career.
Yeah.
Whoever is in office, he just attacks them.
Yeah.
And he goes after it. And he makes very valid points on a lot of stuff that he says.
That's why, that's another reason I've always told people I don't do political comedies. I'm not smart enough. I don't know all the ins and outs. Somebody like Lewis Black, he knows.
Yeah.
So when he makes the joke, it's, like if I tried to make a joke about rebuilding an engine, it wouldn't come out right because I would fucking say the wrong part. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I have no idea what I'm doing.
But somebody that knows the ins and same with George Carlin. He was able to talk shit about politics because he actually knew what he was talking about. If I try to talk shit about politics, it's one-sided.
I love George Carlin because he can go through an entire like rant where he doesn't even make a joke, but he's just making a very good point, and it makes you stop and go, holy shit.
George Carlin was the first person that ever made me question Christianity.
Yeah.
His whole rant about there's this invisible man that lives in the sky, and he's got this list of 10 rules, and if you break them, you got to spend an eternity in hell and fire and brimstone. But he loves you.
Yeah.
And he wants your money. And I was like, wait a fucking minute. Yeah, that don't make no sense, does it? Yeah. So
it's really good.
And Pete Holmes has got a great joke about, because he's a Christian.
Yeah.
And he goes, it's so funny that all of my comedian friends are atheists.
Yeah.
No, none of them believe in God. None of them believe in Jesus. He goes, which is fine. He goes, but the argument is that you believe in nothing, and I believe in Jesus and God. I believe that God created us. You believe that we, there was just this big bang and we were created.
Yeah.
So you believe that we were created by nothing. I believe that we were created by the Creator. you believe, if I ask him, like, hey, what happens when we die? He'll say, nothing. You just go back to the earth. Say, oh, so you become one with your creator? It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same argument.
Yeah.
Which one's easier to believe?
That law of conservation of mass.
Yeah. So I
Man.
love Pete Holmes too. Pete
Mhm.
Holmes is great, and he's very smart and finds the weird way to look at shit,
Yeah.
and then argues his own point, and sometimes he argues against his own point, which makes it even better.
Yeah, man. Dude, comedy's a wild journey, man. You never know what you're gonna find.
Yeah.
Like last night, I mean, I saw a kid steal someone else's set. I think it was like his first time or second time ever on stage. He was young. He was like 21
Yeah.
or something. So, but I saw him steal someone's set, and I was like, good God, almost word for word verbatim, man. And it was Shane Gillis's Beautiful Dogs special on Netflix.
Yeah.
And it was like a solid chunk of almost word for word he stole, and he used it on stage. And I was just, I remember standing in the back looking with the other comedians, and I'm holding my camera and shit, and I'm just like, that kid think we didn't watch that?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I think the problem is
20 million people watched that.
So like Nick Cannon,
Uh-huh.
the first time Nick Cannon ever went on stage was at a club in L.A.
Mhm.
or somewhere in California.
Yeah.
And he went up, he just did Bill Cosby's set.
Really?
And then afterwards he came off and he was like, fuck, I crushed it. I did great.
Yeah.
And the other comics were like, yeah, because you did somebody else's shit.
Yeah.
But he came from a musician's background. As a musician, you can go on stage and perform other people's songs, and people will love you for it.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
In comedy, you can't do that.
No,
That's a fucking sin.
Yeah, nobody will work with you anymore.
So, Howie Mandel's big argument is, because he's a judge on America's Got Talent, and he thinks that all the talent's great or whatever, but he's like, comedians have the hardest fucking job.
Yep.
A musician can take somebody else's song and learn it and play it, and they do all this in their bedroom until they get it down perfect. And then they go and they do it in front of people.
Yeah.
A comedian has to write their own material because it's against the rules to use somebody else's. And then they have to go and take it in front of a live audience and do it over and over and over until they get it figured out, because you can't practice it in your bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
An actor will go on stage and the director will say, here's the words you use, stand right there, put your hands like this. And if he fucks up, they'll go, okay, so don't worry, we're going to do it again. Stand right there, say this, hands like this. And if he fucks up, they do it again. If a comedian fucks up, he's told right then that he fucked up and there is no second act. So you want to
so true.
You want to compare musicians and actors and these people who get all these huge accolades.
Uh-huh.
They all started by doing somebody else's shit.
Uh-huh.
A comedian cannot do that.
Damn, it almost gives you like more of an appreciation for it, really.
Yeah, fucking should. Fucking should.
Holy shit.
But yeah, but there's, I do think there's a lot of people, they come into it and they don't know that doing somebody else's. I've been to open mics where comics just went on stage and they just told old jokes.
Yeah.
Like jokes that I've heard my whole life that my grandpa said, or my uncles would tell these
There's
jokes.
almost like a, I don't know,
how many times
like
after a show has somebody come up to you and told you a joke and said, here, you can use that? I'm like, thanks. I've heard that joke 40 times in my life, and you just gave me permission to use something that doesn't fucking belong to you.
Yeah, there's a weird thing with comedy where it almost hits like the public domain. It's like a knock-knock joke. It's like, come on, everyone, why the chicken cross the road?
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Everybody can use that because everyone has.
Yeah.
But then if you're telling like a very specific story, and it's like only one other person has ever said that story, like on the face of this planet, you might not want to do that.
Yeah.
It's not really a good look, bro.
They somebody told me this. We were talking about it last night also. You think you're a good joke writer. Try writing a new knock-knock joke that's good.
Oh.
Fucking tough. You know how long I've been trying to write a good knock-knock joke?
Yeah, for sure.
They're garbage. Every one of them that I've written.
I just interviewed, he's a really good dude. And his name is Josh Terra. So he's a local guy who lives here, and he's just getting into stand-up, okay? And doesn't cuss, goes to church, fiance, but, wife, kid, all that stuff. Totally family man. Doesn't drink, none of that really. Like at least I've never seen him drink or anything like that, or even smoke a cigarette. But he'll do stand up with us, and he does clean comedy. And we talked about it on that episode, which will come out in a few weeks. You think you're good at writing? Try writing clean comedy that kills.
Yeah.
Because that's a whole nother beast.
Yeah.
You know, because I can get up there, I can say some words and get a shock factor and be like, oh, look what I said. I'm not supposed to say it.
Yeah.
But if I want to make everyday mundane things seem funny or obscure or entertaining in some way, and do that without having the ability to use that type of language, that's a hard one.
Yeah. That's
especially if you grow up around it and you use it frequently in your personal life and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because then it becomes like a second nature to you.
Right. And to me, that's why Nate Bargatze is one of the best comics.
Exactly.
Because he's 100% clean. Now, him being 100% clean has made it tough for a lot of other people, especially if you're trying to do anything in the Nashville scene. Because now Nashville is a clean comedy scene.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's most people there that are working there are clean. You want to go to Zany's? Better clean it up.
Oh man, I didn't. Now, yeah, there ain't no way.
The big name comics that come through, they still get to do whatever they want or whatever.
But they already have a brand recognition, so people know what they're getting. If Tom Segura comes in town, you know what you're getting.
Right. So there's a guy that lives in Knoxville that he produces a small show, and I've done a show with him. And I had some stuff booked. I was going to go back out to Tennessee, and he goes, hey, if you'll stay an extra day, I can get you on at Zany's. I know the lady that handles all the booking there, but it's like a Monday night or a Tuesday night. Anyway, it's the night when the bigger name comics go and they're working out new. It's basically their open mic.
Yeah.
He goes, I can get you in on that. And I was like, fucking great. Like, I can go up and do a set, and fucking Nate might be there. Theo might be there. That'd be fucking great. I'd love to rub elbows with those guys. He goes, you got to be clean, though. I was like, what?
Suck the wind right out of that, you know?
Like, and here's the deal. I respect comics that write 100% clean.
Sure.
But more than that, I respect comics that write funny. I don't like the idea of telling a comic, you can't do that.
Yeah, that's never settled right with me.
It's also your club. If you want to make that rule, you can, which is the problem with, from what I understand, I haven't been invited back, so I wouldn't know. But from what I understand, that's the problem with Rose City Comedy. Is now he's giving you a sheet of paper going, here's a list of words you're not allowed to say.
We've interviewed several comedians that have performed there on a regular basis, and they've talked about it before.
Yeah.
Several other comedians who did not talk about that but still perform. We interviewed a lot of guys from there, but yeah, there's like literally like a list.
Yeah.
Of like, and it's not just do's and don'ts. It's like absolutely not. Then don't do this. Maybe under the right circumstances. And then it's just it's a list of all the shit that's funny. And it's funny because it's taboo subjects that shouldn't be talked about. That's what makes it funny.
Right.
You know, like I have a joke that I love saying, and I get some laughs, and then I see people like scratching their head because it's starting to kick in and they're figuring it out.
Yeah.
It's a trans joke, and it's super offensive. And it just says, I never thought I lived to see the day where the words cocksucker and motherfucker could actually mean the same thing.
Yeah, I like it.
You know?
Yeah.
And so,
yeah.
But yeah, you know, and those would be two words that I couldn't say at Rose City.
Yeah.
You know, and they were funny because it is something new. It's a hot topic issue. And then it's the obscureness of it. That's what makes it funny is you're not supposed to say it. And I'm taking two things that are supposed to be different. I'm making them the same thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's all I'm doing. Well, I didn't do it. They did it. But like, you get my point.
I mean, I've done it once. It was
been fooled before.
It was college. Yeah. Yeah. No. So here's my, I'll never tell a comic what material they can and can't do.
Yeah.
But if it's my show, I will pick and choose what comic I put on the show.
Yeah.
Like, if I know that that's your thing, it's not going to go good with my crowd, I just won't book you on that show.
Of course.
I'm not going to tell you not to do what kind of jokes you want to do, which is where Wayne and I started kind of growing apart, is the type of comedy that Wayne wants to do is perfect for his crowd. The problem is he was featuring for me, so it was my crowd. His comedy, not great for my crowd. his comedy not great for my comedy to follow.
Yeah.
You know, so we just kind of grew apart in that way. But now he's doing his own shows, he's headlining his own shows, and he's doing great. But he's finding his audience,
Mm-hmm.
which is what you got to do.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's so I want so that's like Nate. His openers are 100% clean, and that's a requirement. If you want to if you want to work on my show, you have to be 100% clean. That's great. That's his show. He's not telling other comics not to do shit. He's just saying if you want to be on this show, this is what you have to do.
Yeah, because I mean,
But it's because it's what's best for the show.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, because that's fundamentally that's all it is. Is does the audience like it? Yes or no?
Yeah.
And if you have a specific type of audience coming, then you're gonna have to cater to it, man.
Comics that are more interested if the other comics at the back of the room laugh instead of being interested in if the audience laughs.
I have a good point.
No bueno.
I have a good point to bring up with that.
All right.
So, one thing I've noticed is there's like a pecking order in comedy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you're coming up, doing all your stuff, or starting out, wherever you're at, there's always some hierarchy that's in play, right? And at least from my perspective, so let's just put doing it serious since the first of the year. One thing I've noticed is a lot of people believe because of longevity, they're better than what they really are.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I've been doing this 2 years. I've been doing this 5 years.
Are we naming names, or are we just going with a...
I'm just leaving it generic,
okay,
but I'm thinking of a few names right now.
All right.
Yeah. And, I've been doing it forever, whatever the hell. And one thing I've noticed that, so they feel just because of time that they have a higher place in the ladder.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I'll acknowledge the level that I'm at, but I'll also acknowledge you're not better. Like, say you've been doing it 10 years.
Yeah.
You're actually not better than the guy who's been doing it for 4 years underneath you. He's actually a lot better. So it's just the nature of the beast.
Yeah.
But anyway, so there's that. And then I've noticed a lot of unsolicited, unwarranted advice, like do this, do that, like down to change how I dress and all this. I'm like, well, this is like what I want to do.
Don't wear fucking flip-flops on stage.
No.
Well, God damn it.
So here's what I was doing.
I hate that.
No, I actually...
You wear flip-flops if you want to, but I'm going to talk shit. All right? That's just what I'm saying.
I typically dress really nice.
Yeah.
If they're like, I'll say book shows, because I have some book shows that I do that I get to do like a few minutes at or whatever. I'm not on the flyer or anything like that. But I'll dress nice. Like I wear like usually like black skinny jeans, black dress shoes. I go dark colors.
Mm-hmm.
Usually like a button down, like black button down with a black tie, stuff like that. And I keep it because I'm saying crazy shit, so I want to look as professional as possible.
Yeah.
Because it's such a duality to it.
It's the John Mulaney.
Basically, yeah.
He's wearing a suit and talks very proper, and he says some crazy shit. Yeah.
And so it never fails, though, man. Like, especially being like a new guy into the comedy game, people will be like, "Oh, this is how you need to dress. This is what you need to do." Like all these like unwritten rules, right?
Yeah.
Or it'd be, and another one guy told me one time, he was like, "Get off your note cards," and I was like, "Well, that's a part of the show."
Yeah.
Dick. Like to have note cards in my hand, flipping them around, sometimes throw one on the ground, slapping my hands whenever they actually slap on a big joke, shit like that. It's a part of the act. You know what I mean? It's like telling a magician not to have a fucking wand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like whatever. So I kind of figured out, I'm going to come back to I'm going to make a point here, but I kind of figured out there's all these people trying to give advice, and some people are genuinely trying to do it.
Yeah.
And I do appreciate that. Okay. But some people, I feel like it's more of them puffing up their own ego than anything. But the only opinion that I really care for outside of comedians. Okay, so if you're a comedian, I don't really want to hear what you got to say unless you got an agent or you got some kind of deal and you have turned this into a fucking business.
Yeah.
And it's like, if that's what you're doing, like obviously you tapped into something.
Yeah.
Right. I don't give a shit if you've been doing open mics for 7-8 years. Like, because we're doing the same thing, brother.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's my style, it's your style, or whatever.
It took you 8 years to do the exact same thing I'm doing right now.
But the only like opinion I really care about, and that to me carries more weight, is audience members, especially after the show if they talk to you.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you, I've been to several shows I've done. I thought that I did all right. I didn't bomb by any means. Other comedians just kind of like talk shit and they'll just be like, "Oh, you need to do this, you need to do that, get better at that, yada yada. Don't do this, don't do that." a lot of don'ts,
Mhm.
right? And in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, if y'all got it figured out, then why the fuck are we at the same show?
Yeah. Yeah.
Might want to think about that. And then, so I don't really care. I take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Occasionally, sometimes they make some good points. I will give them that. But then an audience member who comes up to me and is like, that was really funny. I really liked it. That means more to me
Yeah. That's the reason you showed up.
than half a dozen comedians.
Yeah.
And so,
For sure.
Yeah. And I've had audience members come in, like, where comedians have basically kind of like been like, what the fuck are you doing? I've had audience members going, hey, I like the note cards, the one-liners, the whole scene to it because it changes it up because it's a different style of comedy versus everyone else fundamentally is doing the same thing. They're just telling a story.
Yeah.
Right. So this, at least with that style, kind of would shake things up and it would change the pace. And I give them a full disclosure starting off. I'm like, hey, this is going to be completely different than the rest of the shit you're going to see tonight, you know?
Yeah.
But I started to kind of get like a little bit of a vibe from some comedians, like almost like jealousy.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, here we go.
Yeah.
Because now they can't come up and do what I do because then people are going to be like, oh, wait, I thought that other guy was doing that. So then it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I'm like, I'm sorry you didn't do it. Like, I don't know what the fuck tell you. I mean, you can do it still. Be better than me. I don't give a
Yeah.
shit.
That's the idea of comics saying, oh, that comic's so good I can't follow him.
Yeah.
Or you know, and I've one time I've had a comic go before me and I was like, oh shit, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to follow this. And
that's got to be the worst feeling in the world.
and
Dude.
I mean, it was a woman, and I'm not gonna say her name now because I don't want to give her any props because she's a bitch, but she crushed so fucking hard. And I was watching the audience and I was like, fuck, man, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to follow this.
God.
And then I went up and I did fine. I still killed, did great. And right then I was like, oh, like if anything, she just got them pumped up and ready.
Mm-hmm.
All you got to now, if you go up there and eat shit after that, but that's not her fault.
Yeah,
that's your fault.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I know of comics in the past. Gabriel Iglesias told the story of how he got to go and open for George Lopez one time. And after that, George Lopez talked to his manager and said, don't book that kid to open for me again. And it's because Gabriel went up and fucking murdered, and George had a hard time following it.
Didn't Lopez do the same shit similar with like, well, he was talking, what is it, Ralph Barbosa?
They were talking,
there was some shit like...
He kind of talked shit about Ralph, where he was like, I don't give a fuck, we don't know him, why should we do anything for him? And whoever the other guy is that was on his podcast, like, no, we gotta prop this kid up, like he's a Hispanic.
But there was
kid,
some
like,
animosity about the kid coming up or whatever, but it reminded me, the Gabriel Iglesias story reminded me of that.
My whole deal on that is, like, I don't invite people to come and feature for me or open for me because I think I'm better than them. I want the absolute best.
For sure.
It makes the show better.
Yes.
And if they're killing in front of me, that just means I've got to go out and fucking work hard and do my job the best I possibly can. It makes me better. If you've only got somebody not as good as you opening for you, that doesn't make you look better. That it's making you lazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same idea as, you know, when our kids played ball, we always made them play up an age group.
Yeah,
because it forced them to play up. It forced them to work harder. It forced them to be better.
Yeah.
If you make your kid play down an age group or hold them back, now they're playing to a lower standard.
I've kind of like had this like almost like a mantra here the last several years of my life where if you're not stressed out to some degree, you're not growing.
Yeah.
Like if you're just too comfortable, like you're just going to stay where you're at. You have to have some level of stress. So that stress could be, I had to, like, good stress.
Yeah.
So like I had to perform better because everyone else around me is killers, or I have to be better at this sport because everyone is in a higher age group than me, so they're going to be more competitive towards it.
Yeah.
So that is healthy and good stress. You know what I mean? And I think you need to constantly be feeling that in whatever profession you choose to actually be growing. Because if you ain't feeling some kind of pressure, your ass ain't growing. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, they say diamonds are made under pressure. But
dude, the older I get, the more these old cliches start coming back. I'm like, God, there might have been a point to that shit.
Can't
turn a hoe to a housewife. I should have learned that shit. Replace it with girlfriends.
Some lessons are learned a little bit late. But yeah, I'm 100% confident in my ability. I'm 100% confident in my material.
Yeah.
I still, every time I take to the stage, know that I got to earn it.
Yeah.
If it was 100% bulletproof, I don't even need to go up there. I'll just pass out notes to everybody and they can read the shit for themselves. That's no good, right? Part of it is the performance. Do I deliver it properly?
Yeah.
So yeah, it doesn't matter how good you are, how confident you are. This audience is different than the audience you performed for last night.
Yeah.
It's not the exact same people.
Mm-hmm.
So every audience is going to be different, which is why I love performing in all black clubs.
Mm-hmm.
All black.
I've yet to experience that. I thought about trying to get a ticket to a couple of them I've been looking into. I've thought about it.
Every comedian should have to perform in front of an all black audience.
I think
here's why. A black audience does not wait until the end of the show to let you know if they liked it or not. They tell you right the fuck now. Like if you tell a joke and they don't like it, as soon as you tell that joke, they'll go, "Nah, move on."
Yeah.
Next. They'll start looking to the side for whoever's running the show going, who's next? Like, he needs to go.
I kind of like that. I ain't going to lie, man. It's like some Hunger Games shit going on, dude.
You've got no choice but to do well or fucking learn and come back better.
I like that.
Yeah, it's really cool. Fantastic. And I'm saying that from I've never bombed in front of an all black audience. I've been in front of a lot of them because I seek them out. I want to do that. And so I've always
off the top of your head that you can remember that you performed at.
Oh yeah. I did the Nut House Comedy Lounge.
Where's that at?
In North Little Rock.
Okay.
Now before I got there, I didn't know that North Little Rock was the other side of the tracks. North Little Rock is all black. I didn't know that the Nut House Comedy Lounge was a black club until I got there.
Let's make it weird, Matt. Let's do this.
So
Spice
then
it
I
up.
get there. Now, and the guy that owns it, his name's Nate, is the guy that owns the club. He booked me.
Yeah.
He put my picture on the flyer.
They knew what they were getting into.
So people who didn't see the flyer, they just showed up because, hey, there's a comedy show at Nut House every Saturday. They showed up. They walked in, saw it was a white guy. They turned around and left.
Yeah.
The people that stayed after the show were like, hey, we're calling all our friends and telling them they're fucked up for not staying.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's the same thing as when
just be good.
If I say, hey, man, I like your shoes. You're like, oh, thanks. Yeah, I got these last week.
Mm-hmm.
But if a black guy comes up and goes, hey, man, nice shoes, you're like, fuck yeah. Dude, a black guy complimenting your shoes is so much better, right?
I've always
if an all-black audience tells you that they loved your show, because it's not, look at me, listen to me. That's not supposed to be my audience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But they were that night.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that. I did another show.
We had a bar here. They recently just quit doing it, but we had a bar here.
I tried to get a guest spot at the Silly Rabbit in Baton Rouge for tonight, which is an all-black club.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know. I might hit you up because I want to test my stuff out.
They turned me down.
Club. Like I kind of want to test that stuff out.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had an open mic here for a while, but they recently just quit doing it. But it was at a gay bar here in town, like one of the only ones. And I used to go and perform, and some of my friends who are not comedians, who, are like, "What are you doing? That's not your." Like, nothing I'm going to joke about is going to resonate with these people. If anything, it should typically have the opposite effect. Right. And I was like, man, like, it's just the nature of the beast. Like, I don't want to just be able to perform in front of people who look and act exactly like me.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be able to, and I was telling them, I was like, I want to be able to kill in a black club. I want to be able to go into, like, a gay club and actually be able to perform and them have a good time. But all these people, like, of course, I'm not going to go into, like, a bar that has rainbow flags everywhere and just only harp on transgender jokes. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to have a little more fucking taste than that. You know what I mean? But can I throw some out of school shit? Like, and have some fun with it? Sure. I don't know. Fill it out. But, like, that's the nature of growing and, like, dealing with diverse crowds and stuff,
Yeah.
So
I did a buddy of mine had put together, it was his first show that he had produced.
Mm-hmm.
And, he's a black guy. His name's Runtago. We just called him Rush because his last name was Rush.
I see you trying to figure that out. You're like,
he had a very African first name.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was his first show he produced. He'd done several shows with me,
Uh-huh.
and then he wanted to try to produce his own show, and he was going to headline his own show.
Mhm.
Then he had a family emergency, he had to leave town, and he's like, "Hey man, can you go do this show for me? I don't want to lose that spot, and I don't want to cancel and then go, oh, he's a flake, and not let me come back."
Yeah.
I was like, 100%, I'll go and do that show. So I go and do the show. It's a all black lineup. That's all that's on the flyer.
I know exactly where this is going.
we never informed them that there was going to be a lineup change. All black audience, and they're there for it. Like they're there for their people.
Yeah.
Now your headliner coming to the stage. We had a last minute change up. Here comes Matt Ferrell. I walk up and you can feel it in the room. Go.
Yeah.
They don't want it.
Mm-hmm.
So now I recognize it. My wife went with me, and a friend of hers went with us. We walk in, and her friend goes, "I don't think this is Matt's crowd." My wife knows me, and she goes, "Oh, Matt's about to live his best fucking life." She knows I love this shit. So I go up there. First thing I got to do is get him back on my side.
Uh-huh.
So I see a guy sitting in the front row, and he's wearing a button down shirt, but I can see the bulge.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell he's carrying.
Yeah.
Which, first of all, you're not supposed to have that in a bar. Anyway.
Yeah.
I can see that he's carrying, and I was like, "Hey man," I said, "What you packing there?" And he just shakes his head no. I said, "Here's all I'm saying. You're already black. You really need to give the cops another reason to shoot you?" And he goes, and his wife looks pissed. And he goes, "Whoa, bro." Leans back in his seat, and I had him from there on out. By the end of the show, he had 2 pitchers sitting on the front of the stage for me. He went and bought me beer and just set them on the stage.
Yeah.
I stayed with him, and I did a lot of my regular material, but I spent a lot of time just fucking with them to get them with me.
Yeah.
And we had black guys in a group, just like any other group of guys. You get a group of guys together, they bust each other's chops, they talk shit to each other, they fucking busting balls. So I just did that with them, but
guys are not nice to each other.
Right. It took me longer because I was the outsider white guy.
Yeah.
But then once I finally got them on my side, there was nothing I could have said. I could have admitted to being part of the Klan at the end of that show, and they'd have been like, "Oh, yeah, everybody's got something," Like
we all got a pass.
I'm not saying I would have tried it, but that guy to this day, everything I post, he shares.
Really?
Everything I post, that guy shares.
That's like a real fan, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. He started putting together some other stuff, and he's like, "Hey, what's the chances I can get you to come help me with this?" Like I went and did a deal at a vet in Lawton. There's a huge veteran center.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was like a assisted living place. This is a fucking nursing home.
Yeah, I did a bunch of training at Shepherd Air Force Base.
Oh yeah,
and Wichita Falls.
Yeah,
so like we'd go to Lawton and stuff. Like hang out with people. And
so him and another lady he partnered with. Like they do a bunch of entertainment out there for those guys. Like they have bingo nights and they do all kinds of stuff. He's like, "What's the chance I can get you to come do a comedy show out there?" I was like, "For fucking sure." He goes, "How much would you charge me?" I said, "For the veterans, not a fucking thing. I'll do that shit for free anytime you want me to."
Yeah,
like I'll always be willing to do shit for veterans. So I went out there and did it, and it did not fucking go great because it's a nursing home. And the majority of the guys in there got rolled in there, and they just fucking leaned over in their chairs.
It's such a good intention and heartfelt thing, but it's just
none of them have their hearing aids turned up.
Oh, I commend you for doing it.
When I'm walking away from the stage, this old guy stopped, and he's one. He was my most active audience member. When I would say something that he really liked, he'd go like this.
Just one clap?
One clap. Not a laugh out loud, not a fucking applause. One clap.
Oh, he's fucking with you, man. He knew what he was doing.
I'm walking off stage. He stops me. He goes, "Young man, we appreciate you doing this, but most of us don't have any funny left."
Fuck, dude.
Fucking broke my heart.
God.
Broke my heart. But that's not the worst place I've done. I did comedy at a funeral.
Sorry, that's good. That what you just told me, that's gonna sit with me for the rest of the evening. I'm gonna be like, Jesus, I'm gonna go get something to eat here after this.
Yeah.
Y'all want to hear a fucking sad story?
Yeah. He's like, "Young man, we appreciate you, but most of us don't have any funny left." Like, what do you even fucking say back? You know? My buddy Israel, his uncle.
Well, you better find it.
Well, before I come back, you need to dig that shit up. My buddy Israel, who's a comedian there, his uncle's in that home. And he knew
Is that Israel Goldman?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fucking
Yeah.
one of my favorite people on the planet. He knew I was going to be doing it that day. And it was just me. I was the only comic. But he I guess he gets his uncle's mail or something. He said, I waited until today to bring my uncle his mail so that way I could be here while you do this. He set off on the side and watched me just fucking sweat bullets and die at this thing. And he's just... he's fucking loving it, watching me just eat shit. And it's not even I was doing bad. The audience, I don't think they knew what was supposed to be going on.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a bunch of guys, like I said, they don't have their hearing aids turned up. A lot of them are having to wipe their mouths every once in a while, or their caretaker is. I mean, they're all in bad, old dudes in bad shape. They don't know what's going on. So it's not that I was eating shit. The show just was not received. You know what I mean? Which is the exact same as eating shit, by the way, or the exact same feeling anyway. Talking to a room full of people that are just looking at you. You know, it was almost so quiet I could hear them blink. It was pretty fucking rough.
Yeah, you like Jack Nicholson, the one who flew over his cuckoo's nest or whatever. You know?
Yeah. But yeah, so I've done that one. I've done another nursing home twice. My cousin was the activities director there, and she's, hey, would you come do comedy? And I'm like, I don't know how well it'll go, but okay. So I went and I did it, and it was pretty brutal. And I only did like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And as I get done, and my cousin, she goes, oh, they fucking loved it. I'm like, how could you tell? Nobody blinked.
Yeah.
Did Becky's pacemaker start beeping louder or something? Like, how do you know that I did good? She goes, I promise you they loved it. So then like 8 months later, she's like, hey, will you come back and do it again? I was like, but I can't tell her no.
Yeah, of course.
I was like, yeah, I'll come do it. This time word had gotten out. So all the staff was there, even the ones that were on their days off. Like they came in because it was a free comedy show.
Yeah.
So now the banquet room is full. I've got a fucking sold out audience in a nursing home. And at that time I did like 30, maybe 35 and fucking murdered.
Yeah.
It crushed. But it was because there's a lot of people there that were coherent.
Mm-hmm.
It helps. But then I also did a funeral.
Wait a second. You did stand-up comedy at a funeral?
I was supposed to just be, okay.
Just do the eulogy?
So there's this lady I know. Her son had died.
Yeah.
Bad deal. But he was out of state when he died. He was at college. So it's like a month and a half later, they're doing it's basically a memorial ceremony for all the people back home.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm trying to explain to her. Yeah. I'm trying to explain to her. I'm like, I understand that you're a month and a half into grieving, so you're at a different place. For all these people that are here, they know that he died a month and a half ago, but this is a funeral for them.
Yeah, this is their moment.
And so she asked me, she goes, hey, will you come? She goes, I know that you're good with words. You're good with talking in front of people. Will you just come basically be master of ceremonies? You'll enter, because there's a lot of people that want to come up and talk. Yeah. You'll just introduce them, give a little spiel about each one of them.
Mm-hmm. I'm an ordained minister. Now, I've done several weddings.
I don't want to do it. But there's no way I'm telling her no.
Mm-hmm.
She asked me to come do this for her and her kid. I'm there.
Yeah. I mean, I would ask, be like, are you sure about this?
But all I'm supposed to be doing is like, okay, hey, so this next person that's going to come up and talk about Caden, like they went to high school together, and I do introduce them. And
you're not doing...
When they get done talking, then I go up and I do the next person.
You're not doing comedy.
We're done with all that. And she goes, hey, I think you should do your set. I said, I think you're out of your fucking mind. I'm not doing my set here. This is a funeral, man. And she goes... I said, and that's when I tell her, I'm like, hey, Katie, like this is the funeral for these people. I know that you're at a different, and she goes, I don't give a shit what they think. I would love it, and I know that my son would have loved it. Well, now I got to
fuck. Dude, why does everybody keep hitting you with this real shit,
so I'm like,
dude?
All right. I said, give me just a minute. I'm going to try to think through some stuff. I'm going to try to find the most appropriate shit I can find for this, and we'll see how it goes.
Sure.
And she's like, okay. So then I get ready, and basically I do a couple of jokes, and then I just went around table to table.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, yeah. I said, I can tell that y'all are his friends from theater class, because even the dudes at this table have makeup on. So I just kind of roasted that table. And then I went to the next class. I was like, I can tell that you guys are all from his jiu-jitsu class, because all of you look like you got something to prove, and not many of you got anything to back it up. So I just like table to table and I roast, and then I get to the grandparents' table, and I'm like, I can tell y'all are the grandparents because you're lovely looking people. And I just moved out. I'm not fucking roast the grandparent.
Yeah.
So that's basically what I did for the majority of it, was just kind of a little bit of crowd work, messing with people a little bit. But yeah, that one was not the worst, but probably will always stand out to me as the most uncomfortable.
Yeah, I can only imagine how uncomfortable that was.
What else? I've done some other weird shit. I've done a corporate Christmas party.
Dude, those corporate gigs
sucked.
Yeah, a buddy of mine, he did
Pay
one.
was good.
Yeah, a buddy of mine did one for, it was at a car dealership, like, a few hours away from here.
Yeah.
And it was at, like, 9 in the morning.
But comedy's always great first thing after breakfast.
I want to say he said that he got a few $100 out of it.
Yeah.
But he said it was like 9, 10 in the morning. He said it was the weirdest shit ever, man. He just showed up to this massive car dealership. They were having like some, I don't know, some celebration of some sorts, whatever.
Yeah.
And he goes in there and he was like, it's just all these business professionals. And they're just all sitting at like this conference table. And they're like, okay, do your set. And it's just like, what the fuck is going on right now?
I did a Christmas party for a real estate company.
Yeah.
And I know a guy that he's now a realtor for this company. And he reached out to me. He said, hey, would you do our Christmas party? I'm like, man, I just don't know that it'll go over real good.
Well, I don't know. You could argue a Christmas party because it's like, is it a late night thing or there's a drinking going on? Is it real loosey-goosey? You know?
Half of the room was that. The other half of the room were in their 80s.
Oh, fuck.
So I keep telling him, I'm like, man, I don't know if it's going to be good for that or whatever. He goes, dude, I'm telling you, everybody's going to love it. It's going to be great, blah, blah, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I don't know. He goes, how much do you charge? And I was like, my light bulb went off. I was like, here's how I get out of it. I'll just tell him too much, and it won't do it.
$400.
And I said $900. I said, man, my minimum when I'm on the road is $900 for an hour. And he goes, all right. Snap. Didn't even fucking think about it. And I was like, well, shit.
Yeah, you got $900
now I'm going to go eat shit and be uncomfortable for an hour for $900. And it's exactly what it was. Half the room. It was divided fucking down the middle of the room. Everybody on this side of the room were the young agents and their spouses it was open bar. So they're drinking, they're having a good time. They've already accepted all their awards. The food was great. The other half of the room was all the old realtors that actually own everything.
Yeah.
And their spouses. And none of them. Because I'd asked him too. I was like, Terry, are you sure that I am going to be the right fit for this? He goes, I promise everybody's going to love it. So I get there and I see the room divided. I'm like, Terry, that side of the room over there looks like they all skipped church to be here. Are you sure? He goes, I'm telling you, they're going to love it. Those motherfuckers looked at me like I had a third goddamn head. And I just kept looking at Terry going, yeah, they're loving it.
Yeah.
Motherfucker. You got me in this fucking position.
$900.
Hey, I did walk away with $900. I did another one that was an appreciation party. A guy owned some kind, I don't know what the business was, but he had 3 branches. So not like a huge company, but he wanted to do this deal, bring all the employees in. He rented out a banquet room at one of the casinos in Oklahoma City. Yeah. And that's where we're going to do it. There's food. Everything's going to be great. It's on a Sunday. I start talking, and I realize these people do not like comedy, and they do not like me. There's 4 people in this room that are like dudes that work in the back that are like, fuck yeah. Everybody else are like front of the house people that are all prim and proper. And I said, the guy that owns it all and that hired me, his name's Gary. I said, I'm about 20 minutes into my 45-minute set, and a lot of these people are not having fun. Yeah. They don't like the way I talk. And I said, can I ask a question? How many people skipped church to be here today because it was a company thing? 3/4 of the room raised their hand. And I just turned around and I looked at Gary and I said, who's your HR director? Because they're going to be busy on Monday. And the woman who's the HR director, she didn't even have to identify herself. I just heard her go, So I made me a plate to go, got my check, and fucking dipped after that shit.
Holy shit!
I didn't want to stick around and visit with those people.
Oh hell no, dude.
That one was pretty brutal.
Jesus. Well, man, I think that's a good way to end that, man. We've been going for a while, man. We got a little over 3 hours on this one.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Yeah, damn, that's as long as you ever sit still and be quiet, isn't it?
Cody's been held hostage in the corner the entire time.
Dude, I was so excited. I would just throw this out there. I was so excited. All my kids are grown. My youngest just turned 19. So when one of my kids was like, hey, when's the next time you're going somewhere I can go?
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, you can go with me anytime. He's like, cool. I'm taking off this weekend. I'm going to go with you. And I was so fucking pumped about it. So Cody has been with me this weekend, and I've fucking loved every minute of it. We went to Alligator fucking park today and held alligators, and we did some Cajun shit today. So I was really happy that he came with me. It's been a good time.
Yeah, absolutely.
My wife never goes with me anymore, so.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And she's not going to watch this, so piss on her. No.
You got anything you want to plug, man? Any social media? Any business venture shows?
Follow me on Matt Ferrell Comedy on everything. Okay. YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Everything's Matt Ferrell Comedy.
Okay. And we'll put the links in the descriptions as well. Or in the description as well.
The biggest show I've got coming up is next weekend, which this won't be out by then.
Yeah,
so
it's going to be close to a month before I get this one out, man.
So hopefully by then I've got a bunch of other big stuff planned and ready to rock. And if there's any potential managers out there that might watch this, I'm really looking for a manager.
Hell yeah.
So that's where I'm at. I need somebody really a booking manager is what I'm most interested in.
I'll keep my ears open and see if I come across anything, man.
That'd be great. I really am looking to take that step so that somebody else can handle the booking and I can just go tell jokes.
Hell yeah.
So.
Well, if you guys like the show, man, and you want to continue to support it, one thing you can do to help us out on the Dumpster Diaries podcast side is you can go onto Amazon and you can search our title and you can find all kinds of cool merch, and every single penny that that is generated in revenue from the sales on our Amazon merch is used to support this studio, and it gets more interviews like this and more people in and all that stuff. So if you really like the show, man, we'd appreciate it if you buy a shirt, a tumbler, a throw pillow, whatever. We got all kinds of stuff on there. But hey, you don't have to. A like and subscribe is always good enough. Also, if you want to see more about me personally and some of the stuff that I produce, as well as clips of this show, you can check out Justin Allen Comedy on Instagram.
And OnlyFans.
I do not have an OnlyFans yet.
Not yet.
I got a lot of bills. But anyway, man, Matt, thanks for coming in, brother. Yeah, you're always welcome in here, man.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, let's get you in for a round 3 sometime, all right?
Hell yeah.
All right, cool.
What you doing next week?
We'll see you guys next time.